Welcome to a special episode of the Brother Peel podcast. I'm your host, or one of your two hosts. It's O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'll see if LAR Movement's available. And we also have none other Steve the Dean Williams. And tonight's show is going to be a little bit different because typically we do talk a lot more about tangible things that Black men can do, whether it's dating, relationships, sometimes talk about business, a little bit of things, stuff like that. But today we want to talk about a viral video that has kind of shaken up the social media landscape of the World Wide Web. And we're going to get into some of the details of this. It was a music video released by, a talented rapper named Joyner Lucas. He made this song called I'm Not Racist, which there's a hypothetical conversation between a white conservative and kind of a urban Black, kind of democratic liberal. And wow, it's a very powerful conversation based off of where the political landscape is in the United States. Now, me and Steve are both Black conservatives. So in this context of the conversation, there are going to be a lot of talking points that we're going to disagree and agree with. I mean, at least for myself, on both sides of the equation. But we're also asking for you guys who heard the video, call in and participate, and call in and tell us what you think. But Steve, welcome to the show, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I am Steve the Dean Williams, a relationship coach. I run a website called themanmindset.com where we teach guys how to be men. The lines are open if you guys want to call in as well.
Okay, Steve, let me kind of talk to you tonight about this because this is very important. We are kind of unique as Black Americans. Number one, we are both registered with the Republican Party. We are both conservatives. We both feel that to a certain extent, Black people are their own worst problems. And then you have the rest of Black America, more than 90% who feel that Black people's problems are because of white people. Now, let's talk about this amazing song that was released. And I would have to really think this guy is a genius for really putting this out. I mean, you talk about your Jay-Z's and your Tupac, stuff like that. I got to give this guy a lot of credit in hip hop, Steve, where hip hop is actually getting so bad. Hip hop is getting actually so trashy. This guy making this amazing song that covers the political landscape between not only the conservatives and liberals, but between Blacks and whites. Many whites feel like how this guy is rapping, and many Blacks feel how the Black guy was rapping. And then we have pretty much two people, one white guy, one Black guy, each telling each other how they feel from their point of view. But Steve, let me kind of start with this. What did you feel when you heard this song? What was your initial impression of the I'm Not Racist song?
Well, when I heard it for me, it hit on some points from both sides, but to me, it was a lot of victimhood points that I didn't agree with. But from our standpoint, I didn't agree with it. But most white people would agree with the white guy, and most Black people will agree with the Black guy. Me, I'm down the middle because both of them are saying a lot of victim things, but they are saying a lot of truths in some things. So it's kind of a balance there. But what did you think? What's your take on that, man?
I have to be honest, this is gonna sound kind of bad. A lot of the things, I believe that both of them had excellent talking points, both sides. I think that both white people and Black people are both equally unaccountable motherfuckers.
Yes.
I think this show, the race relation issue that we have in the United States of America and across the real world between whites and Blacks, neither one of them wants to be responsible for their own chaos and corruption towards racism.
Yes, you have a call, sir.
Okay, we'll get to them. And I think that this song proves that. White people inherently have been want to be absolved for anything, and they want to point the finger at Blacks. Blacks want to be absolved from anything and want to be pointing the finger at whites. And I think that both talking points, which will continue to go further in the nation, is going to contribute the issue of racism. Now, I think what the guy was trying to do is, if you notice at the end of the video, these two guys, they kind of hugged. Not that they kind of agreed to disagree, but they wanted to at least give each other a chance to understand each other's talking points. But let's do this systematically. For those of you who want to call, it's going to be a hot show. And again, we already have some brothers already dropping off some donations. Shout out to Mike Schultz, $2. And shout out to Mr. Grandeur, making me sexy like Steve. LOL. Thank you for that, brother. But Steve, I want to first of all go over the white guys are kind of the heavy set. And it's Steve?
Yes.
It's very interesting that the stereotypical people who are in the video look like your stereotypical white or black guy. Here you have a white guy who looks like what you would consider a redneck. Fat, overweight, country redneck white guy.
Yes.
Then you have a black guy representing the liberal blacks who looks like a Pookie and Ray Ray. So it's very stereotypical. That's why the video is so powerful, because you have your typical white racist and your typical black racist having a conversation. Now, let me kind of talk about this. One of the first thing the guy says, and you sent me the lyric thing, is he'll say something. He said something to the effect of, the first thing he said is, "I don't have any pity for you black niggas. That's why I feel like screaming Black Lives Matter. All the black guys rather be deadbeats than pay your bills. Yelling nigga this and nigga that." Let's start right there. With all due respect, I don't have pity for you black niggas. This is an important part, and it starts off very strong. Should white people have any pity for blacks?
No, nor should blacks have any pity for whites. This is we know that there are things that are going on. We know it's out there, but I think for white people, they're tired of feeling like I've gotta feel bad or feel sorry or apologize for something I didn't even do. And I think that's from their point of view, that they are sick and tired of that shit, you know? And when they're saying black niggas, I don't think they're saying black people, because I don't think white people pity all black people. It's just certain blacks with certain types of behaviors that sit around and have this victim mentality. So I don't think, but there is racism. I mean, we're all racist. Everybody is racist. Everybody has something racial or something to say about somebody else. So we can't say that we don't have a racist bone in our body. But it's in my opinion, I think that they, as far as the pity and everything, is that that they don't want to pity you when you're sitting around doing nothing, but yet you're asking for handouts. I think that's what they mean by that. But what's your take, man?
Okay, let me kind of go back to you. When you say that I don't have any pity for you black niggas, when you say that, you said that he doesn't mean all black people. Why do you say that?
Well, because there's a difference. I really feel like there's a difference between niggas and black people. I think there are people out there that just want to go home, work, and do their thing, and spend time with their family or spend time by themselves. But then you have those that are disruptive, chaos, causing trouble, and doing things to do more harm to the black community than they can imagine.
So what you're saying is that white people, this guy who's saying some pretty strong racial vernacular, you're saying that he's still, even though in his kind of, and both of them are being, racist in their own ways, and it's not, and neither one of these people are racist based off of what each other looks like. You never hear that from either talking points. So we know that it's not based on phenotype. It's based off of the perception of how they feel about each other in the United States.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So at least we know that it's based off of not just you're a nigger because of what you look like. It's based off what I feel about you from your interactions.
But there are some, to be fair, there are some, you are a nigga because of what you look like. There are
some, but in this context.
Okay, well, yes. Yes.
So let's get to this. You say that even though he says you black niggas, he's differentiating whites between between black people and niggas. Why do you say that?
Well, because there is a difference between black people and niggas. I mean, Chris Rock hit it the best. Chris Rock blew that out the water when he specifically broke down that you have black people that are striving to do things, but then you have niggas that are stopping these black people from doing things. The niggas are the ones that's using the Uncle Toms, the coons, and all that other stuff. It's not black people using that stuff. It's the niggas always all there complaining, poor me, I'm a victim. Black people aren't doing that. Sure, black people have problems. Everybody's had problems, but black people don't blame slavery or the white man. They go on and do what they need to do to get done. Niggas, on the other hand, need a crutch because they need some type of excuse to say why they can't do certain things, man.
Let me ask you this. How long do you feel that white people have thought that blacks and niggas were different? Since when?
How long have I thought that?
Yeah. So at what year do you feel white people said, hey, there's blacks and there's niggas? What year did that happen?
Okay, white people, okay, here's the thing. Everybody thinks all white people are racist, and that's not true. Just like all black people are not racist. Just like all Asian people are not racist. So there is a difference. There are people out there that don't care about the color of your skin. It's your personality and your behaviors that they are going to judge you on. They're not basing you on your skin color. They're basing you off of your behavior. So there are people out there, O'Shea. Everybody white is not racist, and everybody black is not a fucking victim.
We're talking about in this context of this song. So that's true. But in the context of the song where there's a white guy and a black guy having a discussion, you think that in Joyner's mind, in which he's writing it, he's saying you black niggas, but you're saying that he also believes that there's a difference between some blacks and other blacks.
Well, yeah, but you got to go to the next line though to understand. Okay, he's saying I don't have pity for you black niggas. That's the way I feel. But you got to go back. You got to go to the next line because he's explaining why he doesn't have the pity. You go to the next line, screaming Black Lives Matter. All the black guys rather be deadbeats than pay your bills, yelling nigga this and nigga that, calling everybody a nigga and get a nigga mad. As soon as I say nigga, then they react. Okay,
Well, you said that, right? He says all the black guys. He didn't say some of you are niggas and some of you are black. He says all the black guys.
Now, right? Okay, but wait a second. You're right. Now, see, now that part he's general. That's a generalize.
Okay,
he's generalizing right there. But he is saying, talking about slavery, like you was around back then, like you was picking cotton off the fucking ground back then, like you was on the plantation getting down back then. So when in my opinion, when he's saying the word nigga, he is talking about what I'm saying. The Black Lives Matter. Always nigga this, nigga that, getting mad. I mean, that's how black people speak, but that's just the truth. I mean, that's just how it is, but that's here nor there. But when he's saying they get mad at him when he says the word nigga, that's where everybody's like, well, did he say nigga with an A or a nigger with an ER? That's all that silly shit. But you do have one call in the queue when you're ready, sir.
We'll go back to them, but here's the thing. In the context of this video,
yes, sir.
This white guy, who he says his sister has a black boyfriend, I'm not racist or stuff like that. Here's the problem is this. The problem is even I'm in Poland, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
And I have a lot of experience, and I'm in Poland, I'm an expat, I'm a guy that has, compared to Polish people, pretty good amount of money. When white people generalize, for the most part, they don't believe that the number of black people, as you would say, are significant enough to not say all or most. Because black vote democratically so high, I don't even think that black people care to know that there are other blacks. The only kind of blacks that white people will accept, and I hate to say this, are those blacks who are what they consider token niggas. The typical, and no offense, typical black person who's married to a white, typical black woman married to a white man, typical black person who is willing to have all white talking points, your O.J. Simpson type of black people.
Yes.
Those are your token nigga blacks, as whites would call them. And then as soon as they do anything wrong, well, you know what happens with those people. They throw them to the side. But I believe inherently, white people, for the most part, do not want, and I don't think this is wrong with it, because even back in the history of Africa, or slaves, or anything like that, black people don't want anything to do with white people for the most part, period. They care less who's smart or who's dumb. I think white people have shown that to blacks historically. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think that what the problem that blacks is that, oh, well, white people are going to generalize you based off of this. The thing is, white people generally assume that black people are dysfunctional. Even if you're an anomaly, you are associated with a race of people who are failures to them. So that is exactly why, and guess who's coming to dinner? And if a white woman brings a black man home who's a doctor, they don't want to have anything to do with you because you are linked to that. Even if you're an anomaly, the chances of them being more dysfunctional blacks than not is a bigger problem. And this is why I feel, as black men, black people, you got to get out of, oh, well, I'm the exception to the rule to them, or I'm a little bit more different. They see me different than see other blacks. I think that's the wrong mistake to have. I think what you should think of is you shouldn't care, because black people, soon as they start thinking like this, what happens if you do anything that white people don't like? You end up having OJ. So I would say, for your own safety, assume that even if you are a bright black person, if you're talented, assume that behind closed doors, they assume the worst of you. That's my advice, Steve. And that's how I really feel. He says all in the lyrics, and I really believe that's how they feel. I don't have a problem with it. I just think that's what they have historically shown black people.
And okay, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but the $1 million question is who give a fuck what they, again, who gives a fuck what they think as far as that? I mean, if you're right about what you're saying, who cares what they think? You know, who cares what they say behind closed doors? Because you know what? Black people do the same thing behind closed doors. So it's no, you know, black people do the same thing. So it goes both ways, O'Shea. It's not just one way, man.
Okay. Let's kind of, and how many calls we having right now?
Right. Oh shit. Right now we have one, sir.
One. Okay. Let's do this. We'll go through one more talking point, and that's all, brothers. If you can, like the video, we're going to be on for sometime tonight. Get the likes up. Steve, let's go to some of the next video, and kind of where I kind of can talk about talking point. A lot of black people say, he says, well, Pound back then, talking about slavery like he was around back then, like he was picking cotton off the fucking ground back then, like he was on the plantation getting down back then. Okay, let's talk about that shit. A lot of black people use slavery as an excuse. Legacy of slavery. Victimhood of slavery. Slavery is what has held us back. How do you feel about this particular context of this slavery narrative that a lot of people on the left want to have the conversation with white people in this context?
Well, slavery hasn't held us back. It held our great grandparents or great grandparents back, but it didn't hold us back. We can't, I mean, people can use that excuse as much as they want, but we're not slaves anymore. I mean, there are some in liberty. I mean, there's in Africa, you know, we talked about that already, but here in the Americas, we're not slaves anymore.
Let me ask you this, because you said slavery held your ancestors back and some ancestors back. So you don't feel like the wealth that could have been generated, land that was stolen from black people that could have been passed down, that doesn't affect blacks today in a certain way?
The land that was passed down, things like that?
Because slavery, let's think about this, because to a certain degree, I don't let the legacy of slavery narrative hold me back, but we cannot act like slavery hasn't affected black people today in a certain way. In a certain way, it has. Because blacks were not allowed to carry, a lot of land was stolen from black people. You have black people out of slavery who were affected, coming out of the South, trying to go to the North, being put to jail on trumped up charges. It did have its effects. I get what you're saying right now, but
yeah, I'm just talking about now. I can only speak. Listen, I can only speak on now. I cannot speak on a time that I wasn't in. I can't do that.
Okay, well, let's talk about it as of recently, because we're only 60 years removed from, like, Jim. I mean, I'm not saying this is true, but just as a talking point, Jim Crow, which affected my mom in Louisiana and my grandmother in certain places. That was a result of slavery, keeping blacks black, couldn't vote and do certain things. So, do you think that has not had an effect on black people, on black households?
Well, it has. Well, I guess it's a trickle down effect, because those were okay. Remember, those were circumstances that they could not control back then.
Okay.
There were circumstances that they everything you're saying back then, absolutely, they were victims of circumstance. All that shit you're saying, absolutely. But today is, again, I'm just sorry. My dad and mom taught me different. I mean, they're from bumfuck blue collar Lake Charles, Louisiana. They got out of that mindset. They got out of that thing, and they believe in starting your own pathway kind of thing. So it's hard for me to accept it, because I haven't been taught that way. I was taught that you can do anything you put your mind to, and there's going to be roadblocks along the way, but don't ever let anybody tell you can't do type thing. So that's just my different mentality, man.
Okay, so in the context, if black people talk about slavery to a white conservative, now I hear John Paul saying Democratic talking points. Hey, the clock is right at least twice a day, right? I'm not a Democrat, don't like Democrats, but we got to be transparent. Slavery had its effect on black people. Not to the effect I feel that black people had an effect on themselves, but if we think about it, the black family was, and if you want to talk about in American history, the black family after slavery probably was the best thing that could happen to blacks. I mean, that sounds really rude, right? But if you think about it, let's just talk about certain things that happened, after slavery. And I think one of the things we can point to is some of your better historically black colleges. Started by, we have Tuskegee, you have Morehouse, founded in 1867, Morehouse College of Medicine, 1970. You have Wilberforce. A lot of people taught there. W.E.B. Du Bois, right, was there. You have a lot of other schools that came out, because obviously blacks could not go to schools with whites, so blacks were forced to build many of these schools. You have a Lemoyne Owen in Memphis. You have all of these schools and opportunities that came up for blacks at a time in other parts of the world. I'm talking about Nigeria, which was not a country, Liberia, even the University of Liberia. Think about this, Steve. The University of Liberia, because Liberia was your first black African colony. The University of Liberia was established in 1862. Okay. And so then, because that's where your first free slaves went to. But if you think of that, you have African Americans a few years after that coming out with their own schools, their own communities, their own churches. So while slavery had its effect on black people, the economic structure, the development that blacks played with people like Booker T. Washington, Dr. George Washington Carver, in getting rid of the boll weevil infection with the peanut planting, stuff like that. Black farmers making a lot of money in Alabama and the southern regions of the United States, and coming into the Industrial Revolution. Blacks were doing pretty good. So after slavery, blacks recovered momentarily. They did. So we have to say that. So can blacks use slavery as an excuse? I would say no, Steve, in that part, because blacks did recover from it and were doing quite well with their churches, with their communities. There was a family stable unit, and there was educational infrastructure to train blacks and help blacks get into the economy. So I agree with not maybe your whole talking point, but you do make a point that blacks were able to recover from that. Fair enough. Let me do this real quick. Go ahead, Steve.
You have 2 calls in the queue, just to let you know.
2 calls in the queue. Okay. Let me shout out to Hey O'Shea and Steve. This is Josiah just saying what's up in the joint. Okay. BMT Black Male Talk. Hey man, we gotta do an interview one day, fam. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to him. Okay, so Steve, let's do this. We're gonna go into all of the stuff, but let's take the first caller, Steve.
All right. Well, now you got 3 of them. Area code 225. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir? What's your question?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Derek from yesterday. Hey, O'Shea, how's it been?
I'm doing pretty good. What's your name?
You got to speak up,
this
sir.
Is Derek from yesterday.
Okay, you got to speak up a little bit, sir, please.
Oh, this is Derek from yesterday.
You say you
okay? What's up, Derek?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so O'Shea, my issue on this is that both sides have pros and cons to them. And it's just really complicated to do it. You have the whites on one side that think that blacks have low IQs, and then you have the blacks on the other side that are constantly, the bad ones at least, always trying to find themselves as victims.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Not really, but I think you should really just work on Steve real quick for trolling the callers, because I saw Kev yesterday and he wasn't looking that great. He always kept making fun of him. Well, goodbye.
Steve getting trolled again.
I don't understand. What is he saying?
I don't know. Thanks for calling in. So Steve, let me kind of get back to what this guy is saying.
I couldn't understand. Okay, I couldn't understand what you're saying.
This guy in this song, the white guy, when the white guy is speaking to this black guy, he's not talking to the black guy as if he thinks that black people are stupid or have low IQ. I don't get that. What I get for him is that he feels that black people are inherently lazy. They're not ambitious.
I don't think he means all, though.
Well, no. I mean, the way he's talking in his song, he doesn't talk to this guy as if the guy is late. Like, all you black people are stupid. He doesn't say that.
Right.
He feels his tone. He feels that black people are lazy. You know, I'm paying my taxes as a taxpayer, so you can go out and get welfare and food stamps and shit like that. You don't take care of your kids. You know, so your priorities are fucked up. So
most people think blacks are lazy. So what are you talking about?
Okay, so do you feel that blacks are lazy?
Of course, there's certain blacks out there that are fucking lazy. Absolutely, that our taxpayer money has to go in and cover their asses on a lot of shit. Absolutely, man.
What's your percentage of blacks that you feel out of 100 are lazy?
Boy, that's a tough one, because man, what is the percentage of single mothers out there that be created these motherfucking? I mean, it's not the same like it used to be, O'Shea. Things have changed, man. I would say it's a high number. I can't give a number, but I say it's a very, very high number of black men out there that are doing either the bare minimum or nothing at all. It's rare that we'll never have a time where black men are really going to try to create their own businesses, because like I said before, they're still stuck in I'm being held down so I can't grow type thing. So I would say it's a high percentage in my opinion.
High percentage. So would you say over 50%?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Hell. So fuck yeah.
Okay. So we have over 50% of blacks who are, and this is, to be fair, not to Nigerians. Let's be honest. African immigrants, Nigerians, when they come to the United States, they even perform whites in this country. They outperform Asians. So there's no other group of minorities that are better than Nigerian Americans.
Okay, are we talking black Americans? Or
yeah, we're talking about black Americans. Yeah, so I'm making a case. Yeah, this guy is talking about black Americans, and I think what you're saying is we wanted to clear that up. So the Nigerians are showing that black people can be very well if they want to perform, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify that. If you're talking about any blacks that come over to this country, the percentage is flipped. They are more driven to do more than we are. So no, I didn't know. I thought you were just talking about.
No. I'm just talking about we're still talking about the same thing.
Okay. You got 6 in the queue waiting.
6 in the queue. Okay. Well, so before we get to those, Steve, and guys, like the video, and let me shout out to Wake the Hell Up. He says, true history, these liberals want a hug Stephen O'Shea. That's why they complain all the damn time. They want change, support things that show betterment themselves. Thanks so much. So Steve, so let's talk about this. Are white people, okay, because this is how they feel in this song. I'm not saying all of them do. Are white conservatives spending their hard-earned money bailing out black quote-unquote niggas who are they spending their tax money on them? So when a white person says, these people are taking out taxes out of my money, I'm supporting them, should they be thinking, I'm supporting other black people? That's I'm supporting Pookie and Ray Ray and Jenny and them?
Well,
is that the truth in your opinion?
Well, now this is kind of a slippery slope here, because on one hand, if the money is going to a black poor family or a black individual that utilizes that money to get himself out of that, then it's going the right, and then it's being put in the right. They're what's the word I'm looking for? Shit, I'm drawing a blank here. If it's being done right, they don't have a problem with that. The problem that they're having is, and it was kind of like the Katrina scenario when Katrina hit Louisiana, when all the victims came, not victims, all the people came to Houston, the crime went up and all that other stuff. But when people got their FEMA cards, a few of them used it the right way, but everybody was buying smokes, cigarettes, liquor. You know, they were just buying shit with the thing instead of what they needed. But so when white people see that, but you got to understand there's another element here that is setting up the perception, and that's the media. You got to understand something. The media is the worst enemy for black people, because the media portrays all black people. Like, if a black person is smart, educated, does something, media is not going to play that. They're going to show the most ignorant ass shit and stoke the fire of most black people to keep them angry and misinformed. So it's a lot of elements here, O'Shea, but you do have 6 in the queue. Okay,
let's do this. Everybody get the likes up and we'll take some calls. So Steve, go ahead and take some people in here.
All right, area code 404. You're on, sir, man. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, O'Shea? This is Daniel. What's up, Steve?
How you doing, sir?
What up, Daniel? My partner out of the truck driver. What's going on, fam?
Hey, Steve just hit the nail on the head, and that's the biggest problem we've had, is we've never controlled our own media, and it has consistently demonized us to the world. And Steve, you may not know me, but O'Shea know me. I'm not one for victim blaming, but I'm not detached from the situations that happen to Black America. You know, I live in Ghana. I'm a landowner. I come from an upper middle class family. My family was making well into the six figures in the 80s. So I grew up with a network. But I saw a lot of my classmates didn't have that access. You know, my mentors were economists and deans of universities. So one of the biggest issues that Black men and Black women are suffering from is we don't control our image. We don't control our money.
Yes, sir.
And we don't have a strong network.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of our the best network most Black folks get may be a pastor. They don't even get a chance to have a doctor or lawyer, a plumber or a carpenter friend to save money, which also creates that network that goes back to the Nigerians. Nigerians have a sense of family and networking. Indians, Arabs, everybody else have a sense of networking and a sense of national pride that we don't have.
Right.
And a lot of that was beaten out of us because every movement that pushed Black agendas, that was an assassination. Those assassinations wasn't just killing that one individual. It was killing and breaking the hearts of millions of people.
Well, sir.
And so when anybody that want to stand up, naturally, when you see somebody standing up for right and you see their brains get blown out, that castrates thousands of people mentally.
It does. That's true.
So you got a lot of people walking around zombified, and they're gonna fall into drugs, which we started getting into drugs right after the 70s. Because up to the 70s, we had 70% of marriages, and we had 70% of the homes with two parents. But there was the Vietnam War. Black men came back doped up. Then they pushed drugs. They changed the narrative of Black pride to pimp and hoe movies. Then the 80s came. We know crack and heroin came. So the last 40 years, because I'm 45, all we saw is degeneracy. Then BET came in with more degeneracy. It used to be positive Black music. White executives run the music industry. And Black men and Black women are being encouraged and pushed. Hey, we don't want you talking about positivity. You got to talk about sucking dick and licking ass and all this dumb shit. So over the last 45 years, they broke the back of Black men and Black women having any kind of pride. Therefore, because they control the narrative, they control the networks, and you can see the natural progression creates out of wedlock homes. It creates Black men not giving a fuck anymore because 50% in all the major cities, you got 50% unemployment. So, and we Black men are not hiring each other. So, we got to be very careful on how we talk about Black men because we ain't giving Black men jobs. Right. We don't own any banks to give them money. We don't have any opportunities for these Black women who are wayward and sucking and fucking their way into oblivion. So, when white people talk about us, they have no right to even judge us because they whole existence is based upon our backs. Because without us, there's not even them. Because even though most of them didn't own slaves, but they benefit from the privilege of whiteness because white World War II vets came back, they got land. Black World War II vets came back, we didn't get shit.
That is true.
So there's a lot of, even the most educated white person is going to be insensitive because there's so many layers. Redlining. Black men and women could even get loans on their homes. So that's what created the ghettos. When you can't get a loan on your home, the property value drops. That means the school system gonna be shitty. It's been one chess move after another. Cause I play advanced level chess. I'm a 2000 rated chess player, and I've learned these things over the last 25 years because my parents kept me grounded to the people, even though we was, living in a big house, had 14 acres of land, driving Maximas and shit when I was 16. And this was in the late 80s and early 90s. But they kept me grounded. And that's why I can see the game. It's one fucked up game. And that white boy, he ain't, that's white people are culturally insensitive because they think about themselves. I ain't mad at white people for thinking and loving, and we all should be racist. We should all be race first, but we don't have any power. So, and they have the power, and they benefited via their privilege of whiteness, and then they control the narrative on how everybody look at us as our people. Most of us are brainwashed Black folks. Zombie.
And Daniel, thanks, man. You really
I'm giving you a perspective from a middle-class Black man. I make damn good money today. I travel the world, but I see the fuckery that goes on. Because I don't have problems with Black folks, white folks at all. But I see them for who they are. And most of them don't give a fuck about us. And why should they? It's our problem to fix.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So man, thanks for calling in, man. We gotta do that. We gotta do that show, man. Me and you, we gotta get that one truck stop podcast, man. I want to tell y'all thank you for what you do for the show, man, and I thank you for just all the knowledge you dropped on me from offline and everything. You really are a powerful brother, man. And so not only do you support with just calling in and stuff like that, and with donations, but man, you dropped so much knowledge on me, man, just offline and your experience. So we hope that you can keep calling in and being we'll do a one-on-one show and being a help to these brothers, man, out here. So thanks for calling in, fam.
Hey, man, y'all keep kicking ass, brother. I'm proud of you. Steve, Hey, you the man.
Thank you, sir.
Steve, what was you didn't agree with what he was saying? It seems to a certain degree.
I disagree with all that. We got all these layers on our backs and all this other stuff. I totally.
What part did you disagree with, Steve?
Because all this, I mean, it's just an excuse to sit there and say that, you know what, this is the reason why you can't do shit. Who gives a fuck?
He didn't say that.
Oh, well, he's like, well, we got all these things and all these problems and all this and that, and this is the reason why. So what? The white man got more land. Who gives a fuck? You know why? Because think about this. What did I tell you? If they gave us 20 acres in the mood, what do you think people gonna do with that shit? We don't have a business mind or any type of business sense.
What he's saying is it false? Any of the stuff historically saying, he's telling you how it happened.
Listen,
it's not wrong. He's telling the truth.
I agree with what he's saying some of the stuff, but what he's failing to realize is that black people don't want to listen to the solutions. They don't want to hear solutions. That they don't want to hear solutions. They want to stay exactly where they're at. Anytime someone tries to give a solution or try to tell them how they can change their lives, they are Uncle Tom, they are a sellout, they are a coon, or they're trying to act white. That's just how it goes, man.
But he said he don't have no problem with the white folks, man. I mean, Steve,
I'm not talking about the white folks. I'm talking about black.
What he's saying is historically, blacks were treated differently coming from World War II, getting longs, and this is all true. I mean, it's not like he's not saying that black people should have an excuse for that, but it seems like once you hear anything that says like about white supremacy, it's like automatically you don't want to hear what they have to say. It's like, white supremacy, boom. But the guy is making excellent points. There's nothing that he said is like false. He's not lying. I mean, the thing about it is black people, we don't have to use it as an excuse. We can observe the things that white people have done, and anybody who wants to say that white people have not done those things, and he did it, I think, in a very masterful way, it's the truth. You know, a lot of problems that black people have in America created from what you see today comes from a lack of opportunity in the past. We're not saying that you ain't supposed to have a winner's attitude, but what he's pointing out historically, that was true. There wasn't nothing wrong with that.
Again, I told you, I'm not arguing that. That's the past. I cannot fight it. I'm not going to fight it. If that's what it is, it just is. But the past to me, as I'm not going to utilize what has happened in my past to be an excuse why I can't do shit. That's all I'm saying. But you got callers, sir.
Okay, let me do this real quick. And shout out to James Nance. Bomb ass show, hella knowledge for life, hella game. And O'Shea, my bro, tell Dean Williams, fuck the Cowboys. New York Giants going to kick that ass on Sunday in New Jersey. All you got to do, if you want to frustrate Steve, call in and just say white supremacy. Just say that. And he will get up. Oh, man. I'm going to start calling him and saying that.
Rude to him. He was talking, and I let him talk. I didn't want to be rude. So.
No. He's a good caller. And,
rude. He was dropping some gems that people in the room needed to hear, so I just let him, do his thing. It's cool. But you
go ahead. We have a call. Okay, let me say this real quick, Steve. And this is going to be an interesting show because me and Steve. The reason why these kind of shows are good with Steve because Steve has a different point of view that a lot of black people don't like, and I actually agree with a lot of things he has to say about this. And so it's tough, right? And so let's guys get the likes up here. We're gonna have interesting conversation. Again, shout out to Daniel. Steve, let's bring in the next caller.
Wait, we have another 404. Is that 438? Wait a second, did we bring you in, caller? Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from, sir?
Yeah, this is Wayne. Wayne from Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
What up, Wayne?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank both of you guys for working together and allowing your subscribers to have a platform to call in and express their opinions and their viewpoints on the topics that you guys come up with. It's ironic. First of all, I'm 33 years old. It's ironic that the last caller called from a 404 area code, and me and his lives are total opposites. Both of my parents were on drugs. I have a business now. Thank you, God. I was able to pick myself up put up my own money to invest into a franchise and started my own business. I won't lie and say that I take pride when I'm able to give people jobs. I'm not. I don't look at them and say, "Well, they better get the job done," which I do hold them accountable. But I take a sense of pride knowing that what I contribute to them allows them to prosper. Now, back to the topic. The guy, ultimately what I seen, I know this story, I seen it, it was a great thing, but like you guys said at first, ultimately these guys sound, like crybabies. The white guy, it gave him a reason to me, ultimately just to constantly say the word nigga. It's like white people, whether they want to admit it or not, deep down, just saying the word nigga just I don't know, gives them some type of power. Like the last caller said, I do a lot of business with white people, various races, and I don't have a problem with doing business with them. And we often engage in intellectual conversations. However, I will be lying if I didn't say in a lot of situations I see where they are condescending at times. Now, I am a vendor, so when I go in these various companies and I'm able to see the stereotypes that I have been shown in the media, when I go into a company mostly owned by a white guy, and the people who work in the office area are white ladies or a couple of black women here and there, and maybe one black guy in the sales department, and the other guys are white. I'm there like maybe 5 days a week. You hear people talk as you are a fly on the wall, and you walk through and you hear them talk about Josh, who's a white guy. He's an underperformer, hasn't produced any sales. And you have this black guy who's producing sales, and,
What happened? He was doing good. Is Steve froze? Can you guys hear me? Hello? What the fuck happened? Steve, man. Where'd Steve go? Hold on, man. Steve, cheap ass internet. See, that's white supremacy. White supremacy then took his computer. All right, y'all. Look, man, that was a good caller, man. And fuck around, Steve, cheap ass internet. Racist ass. Oh my God. Damn, man. What the fuck happened? All right, listen, guys. I don't know what happened. Let me see. Steve is back. Is he back? I just seen, maybe he had to sign off real quick, but what's going on, man? The show was doing pretty good. All right, 1 second, guys. Get the lights up. Nah, nigga, it ain't no whack ass motherfucking Polish Wi-Fi motherfucker. My shit is going good. Shout out to Black Lion 777. All right, Steve was gonna come back. I think that's what happened when you don't pay your goddamn bill and shit. But let me see what happened. He's gonna come back. Anyways, while we're waiting for that guy to come back, guys, and restarting a little bit, here's what I gotta say. This is a interesting conversation on race. It's a tough conversation. There's always going to be this battle between white and black. A big part of black racism. Now, racism. I think a big thing that black people have a problem with is wanting white people to like you. I think this is really what blacks want. And I gotta talk about this. Black people as a whole would never cry about white supremacy if they felt that white people liked them. This is the reason why, if you notice, any white guy who has like a white woman has a video talking about she loves black men, or white guy has a video who loves black women. This is exactly why it's more powerful, and you guys know this to be true here on YouTube. If a white guy makes a video and says, I love black women, it's going to do more numbers than a black man that has a show or a video says, I love black women. Almost instantly. A black woman makes a video says she loves black people, black men. It will not do as good as a white woman making a video saying that she loves black men. We already know that. And what's the reason why? Black people, they want to be loved by white people. They do. I'm sure Daniel's there in the chat somewhere. And while I'm waiting to Steve to come back, this is what you got to understand. If you go to Africa, there is no better representation of black people wanting to be loved by whites. I mean, it's almost despicable, you know, to see this. Especially when I was in Uganda, you would never see two Ugandan couples, man, like a black couple, African couple, that will not be holding hands. They will not be showing any forms of affection. You will not see it. If you see a white man and a black woman, or a white woman and a black man, oh my God, they're so happy to be together. They're all over each other. They're just so, and not only that, look at this. Let's, you know, there are black couples on YouTube. Let's say, for example, black man, black woman couple have their own YouTube channel couple. Great content, putting up good videos, maybe a little bit of views. Let you get a white man and a black woman as a couple on YouTube, thousands of views. And the reason is black people want whites to love them. You know, and that's what whites don't want to talk about. Blacks don't want to talk about. We want white people to really accept us. Like, hey, why are we not in the fold? Have we not arrived yet? You know, and the problem is this. Black people are not going to ever get over racism until they do what is needed to do, which is not care. Now, here's the problem. Black people don't have, and I'm waiting for Steve to come back, black people don't have their own country outside the United States, right? You look at some of your black countries where African Americans are at a very big disadvantage. It's not like we could just go, I'm going to go to Liberia, or I'm going to go to Ghana or something like that. And where everybody's black, I can establish my own stuff, my own media. It's very hard for African Americans to do that. It's very difficult because we can't just get up and say, I'm moving to Ghana or I'm moving to Liberia where everybody's black. I'm moving to Nigeria, something like that, where everybody's black. The issue is this: in America, you know, you do need, to be honest, if you're in America, the population is so, black people are very dependent on white folks. I mean, think about it right now. We are talking on a network dependent on by white people. You know, YouTube is a white. Here's Steve again. Let's see. I told this nigga to pay his bills. Let's see. Coming back on. Okay, hold on. All right. You back, Steve?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get everything back online, man.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. I know who shut you down, man. It was white supremacy. It's some white people. They seen you because you know you got a white wife, man. They didn't like us. I mean, you know what that nigga over there, man, over there, rich and shit, living in a nice neighborhood. That motherfucker got $500,000 house and shit.
Call back in. Don't worry about what I had.
All them pretty mixed kids and shit. Man, fuck that nigga. So listen, you know, and I just want to say this to the brothers. We're gonna come back on here, and I want to bring that other brother to come back on because Brother Daniel called in from Atlanta area. This is what we want to teach you brothers out there. I live in Poland. I've been to Ukraine. I can tell you for a fact, white people are going to feel the same way about you just based on the fact that you're black, for the most part. Some, if they get to know you, they'll change, right? If they get to know you. But most white people are not going to get to know you, nor do they care to know you, okay? That must be your attitude in life. If white people don't like you, then it doesn't matter. Okay? It's nothing to protest about. It's nothing to get upset about. A lot of you black men must stop wanting or thinking that whites owe you attention. Think they owe you to like you. They owe you something. That's the wrong attitude to have. Trust me, I'm in Poland right now where if I die in the street, don't nobody give a fuck. That's how it works. Okay? And this is exactly, and shout out to my man Sub-Zero369, man. What's going on with you, pimpin'? One of my underrated favorite YouTubers, man. That's a powerful channel. You guys gotta understand, white people don't owe you anything. And that's how we should deal with it. You know, you should not be here for white people to like you. You shouldn't care if white people say, I love blacks. I hate blacks. It doesn't matter. So I'm just waiting for Steve to come back. We're setting everything back here. And Sub-Zero, man, I know I've been meaning to get to you and do a show with you.
I'm resetting everything right now, but I can say that. Yeah, I'm just resetting. I'll let you know. I'm just resetting everything now.
Okay. So they got to call back in, right?
Yeah, they got to call back in, but not yet. I'll let them know when. I'm setting it up.
Okay. So let me just do that. Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, we had that little issue. We're gonna call the thing. Let me see here. Okay, hold on a second. Just waiting on this. And for anybody, man, I don't know if you guys are watching. I'm on the show, so some people are messaging me on Facebook. I won't be able to get to you because I get a lot of times people do that. You know, they'll see if I'm like maybe on Facebook or something. You know, they'll hit me. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm live right now. So again, brothers, we want to thank you guys for saying in this here. How many black CEOs? How many black stockbrokers? How many? Okay, let's talk about this. DJ Cadillac says, how many black CEOs? How many stockbrokers? How many something else? Again, let's talk about this real quick before we bring Steve back on. You guys call in. A lot of black people not being stockbrokers or CEOs in this day and age. Right now, currently, with a $1.4 trillion spending power, with all the black colleges, you have more historically black colleges in America than Ghana has in its own country, right? You have 40 million blacks. So the country of Ghana, American blacks have more black colleges than some African countries have total colleges. So who's to blame for that? Again, we got to deal with the fact that a lot of you niggas ain't shit. I got to deal with you niggas. If there are no black CEOs and you have a $1.4 trillion spending power, kill yourself. Do me a favor right now. Go to the nearest fucking bridge. All of you niggas, go there right now. Don't wait. Log off. Go to the 85th floor, jump off backwards. And may you vomit to your death. Because again, you niggas, you can go to white colleges now. You can go to black colleges. You can even come do what I'm doing. Listen, hey, I'm over here in Poland. Took out a loan from the white government. You can do this. So it's not like you can't do that. You can do that. And when you look at, there's been no new black medical schools open, no new black hospitals open. You have to be hired as a law firm. Okay, why these guys? Let me get to that out of my chat room.
The lines are back open.
He said you have to be chosen as a CEO. Dumbass nigga. No, you don't. You start your own company. You have to be hired as a law firm. No, you don't, nigga. You start your own law firm. It's called going to law school, which black people can go to law school. There are law schools for blacks. Howard, FAMU, Texas Southern. God damn, there's so many dumb niggas in this chat. All right, Steve. We back on live?
We have a caller, but I do want to talk about, there have been 10 owned black companies, meaning I'm just only going to give you 10 black individuals who did the hold me back mentality. that decided to create their own business and also get on Shark Tank. The first one is a simply is it so let me see here. The printed pretzel.
Okay.
That's one. Spritz. Me and the Bees lemonade by a young girl. This girl started off an 8-year-old. Now let me say this again, O'Shea. An 8-year-old black female, 8 years old, who came from Oakland, California, has created a business and got on Shark Tank, selling over 22,000. Oh, excuse me, not 22,000. She is a millionaire. She sells lemonade. She has her own lemonade. You've got Hammers and Nails. This is a salon by a black man. You've got Upskirt. You've got Pet Pete. You got Joyce's Soul Food Cuisine. So this is what I'm talking about, Shay. What's their excuse? Because if what a lot of people are saying in the chat room and a lot of people are thinking, then how is it that these black people did something? Because if that was the case, they shouldn't be doing anything right now.
I mean,
you have 2 calls in the queue, sir.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to in Cadillac. Call into the show. We're not gonna let you troll the show, nigga. Call your ass into the show or donate. You talking too goddamn much. All right, bring the caller on, Steve.
From my neighborhood, the DMV, area code 301. What's your name and question and comment, sir?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hey, my name is Christian Lee. I'm actually in College Station. I'm from DC originally, though. But I just want to say, Steve, I 100% agree with you in terms of that we, like, black people should not be chained down to the thought and idea of slavery. I think it all depends on who, like, how you were raised. Both of my parents are well educated. Mother graduated from the University of Maryland. My father graduated from the University of Maryland.
DC,
my father's
baby.
an engineer. My mother actually has her PhD. She graduated from Texas A&M probably not too long ago. But it's like the way they raised me. It's like I knew that the way they raised me, I knew that they weren't going to take shit for nothing. So I would come home and they wouldn't expect anything less than a B. So they'd be on my ass. So now that I've grown up, I'm kind of on my own and moved back up to Maryland. Now that I've grown up, I've kind of noticed what my parents have been doing to me, that they've been building me up to be a good, outstanding individual. So it's like I got my own stocks, just some in oil. And,
yes,
you know, I'm taking care of myself. And the thing is that, like, the one thing that I've noticed, like, the one thing I hate is when people say white privilege. White privilege is holding us back. The white man doing this. White privilege doesn't technically exist in my book. For an example, I see that I'm privileged myself as a black male. I'm privileged. My father got me set up with the stocks. He was the one who purchased them for me. I got them as soon as I was 18.
Awesome.
And I took care of them. I've been selling a few and this and that. Not only that, but I'm jumping into the real estate market with my father as soon as I finish my degree.
Wonderful.
I'm transferring to George Mason University for a degree in music. I was going to go to Johns Hopkins Music Conservatorium, jazz professional trumpet player here in College Station right now. But it's like, it all depends. It's like, you know, it's all about, like, how you were brought up. Like I said, I was privileged. My parents taught me how to speak well. My parents taught me how to do well in school. My parents made sure that I had everything that I needed to succeed in life.
Yes.
So now I'm doing my own thing, about to move back up to Maryland, and it's like, you know, I see brothers and sisters throwing up the race cars, throwing up the white privilege thing, and it just bothers me, because I'm just like, y'all could be doing so much better.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Y'all are holding yourselves back. Is how I've looked at it.
Well, sir, I agree, and I want to throw, because O'Shea going to think I'm agreeing with you, because, you know, we from the DMV and everything, because that's what we do. We think for ourselves, but it goes back to that young 8-year-old girl who made an $11 million business deal selling lemonade. So if a 8-year-old black female can go in this economy and make $11 million,
right. Everybody should be
doing something, but they don't want. See, what we fail to realize is that we have more opportunity than ever before to create our own shit. And it doesn't have to be in the neighborhood. The World Wide Web is something you have access to, everybody who has the internet. That's the power. But again, I don't know how white supremacy jumps on the internet because I guess it does, because for some reason people don't want to do this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna be quiet because I agree with you. I want to hear what Uncle O'Shea has to say about all this. O'Shea?
I agree. I mean, listen, you're talking to a guy that came to Poland with nothing and survived a year without getting medical school loans by himself. So yeah, I agree, man. The opportunity is there for those people who don't want to make excuses. There's no country in the world that's more easier to make it from zero to the next level than America. And then once you have money in America, it's easier for you to go to like a developing place and do even more. So it even gets, I think, a little bit easier if you have the right connections going from like, America to Africa or America someplace else. But he's definitely right, man. You know, it's your mindset. Definitely.
And the thing is, you know what? If we ask this man right here from the DMV, I gotta give you a shout out, fam. If we ask this man, what would he say to those black people who feel like they're being held down? I guarantee by after the first sentence or second sentence he say, he is always going to be a coon, a sellout, a Uncle Tom, or he's trying to act white. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Steve, I worked at this music shop up in College Station, and I had this one brother. He had heard me talking to the owners of the shop. They were talking about selling the company because they in their 60s, and I was talking in on it, and then I gave them my 2 cents and stuff. And there was this brother who was just like, "So I heard you talking white." He was like, "I know you got money, you coon." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "All right, I'm just talking business with the business owner, because I'm a valuable asset to them. I've been with them for many years." And they led me to chime in. So, but the fact that he saw me doing business with them, he felt like he kind of like exiled me from my own people. So that kind of pissed me off. Like when like earlier back when I was talking about white privilege, I define privilege overall. Like people say it's just given to them. I think what it really is their predecessors are busting their ass, and they are letting the people who are coming up in the future to have that privilege. Privilege is how much work you are willing to put in towards the future. So if somebody's like heavily privileged, they weren't born. Yeah, they were probably born with it, but it's not like someone snapped their finger and that was it. No, somebody before them had to bust their ass, get in the nitty gritty, make the sacrifices needed in order to have to where that the future, their children, their grandchildren, everything could be successful. So, like I said, it all depends on your predecessors. Unfortunately, a lot of black men and women, their predecessors aren't really doing shit. Well, unfortunately.
Well,
okay. That's the one thing that I can't stand.
Well, one thing I want to say real quick before we move on, I just want to say that one thing that I make sure I do, and one thing, even on my shows, I ask any person, I don't care what color they are, if they have a business idea, to call in my show. Let me know, and I will automatically set you up mentally on what the things you need to do to build it. Guess what the majority of the callers I get asking questions about business? White or black? What do you think?
Most of them are white because I've seen your shows, I believe.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. Listen, it's not like I'm not trying to do or trying to help, but I can't put a gun to somebody's head and try to motivate them to start a business. What I can do is support them and give them ideas.
Don't want help, unfortunately.
No, they don't want help because they think they know it all. And that's our problem as black people. We don't want to listen to somebody else tell us about what we need to do to better ourselves because of our ego and our self-importance. Those are two crucial things that really hurt us in the community. But I mean, that's here nor there because we got a show. But I want to say thank you, DMV. Much love to you out there, man.
Yes, sir.
And
no
hey, you know what,
Steve, y'all take care.
Hey, when you get home, your parents, tell them you love them and tell them thank you for making you the man that you are today, man. That is awesome story, man. Very good, man.
Yes, sir. You take care.
All right. Okay, O'Shea, you got 5 in the queue, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring on the next caller real quick.
All right. Area code 770. You're on, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Mr. Grand here. You know, I've been listening to the two first Atlanta callers. I'm the third guy from Atlanta, as far as I can tell, as well as the last gentleman that spoke. And, you know, I agree with what they're saying. And my thing is, regardless of the base that you came from, where is the personal accountability for each individual?
Whoa.
Like, I mean, I've seen my parents. I remember before my father came to the States, when he did come to the States, he was cleaning toilets at Lufthansa's headquarters up there in Mineola, wherever, New York, and Long Island, you know, and going from that to building himself into a small empire that he has now.
Mm-hmm.
Me, myself, coming up, me and my three siblings, two of us ain't hitting on shit. The other two are pretty successful. So do we blame that on our parents, what our parents gave to us, or what the initiative we took to take what they did give us to move ahead? Because if it's on our parents and what happened to my other two siblings, I ain't hitting on shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Or what made me and my younger sister different from my older two that aren't as successful as us. So that's the only thing I wanted to say before I get off the line. You guys go ahead.
Well, sir, I wanted to say to you, I understand, because you know what? One of the things that I am happy to just say is that I was born from love. Of course, you know, I always talk shit to O'Shea. I was born for love when it comes to my daddy, but when I am honored to be lucky enough to see my dad on Fox News damn near every night. But the thing that I love the most about my father is the fact that he came from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He didn't have much money. He wore the same clothes in school. People were laughing at him, ridiculing him and all that other stuff, but he kept pushing. His main thing is, while everybody was out there playing, he was hitting the books, he was studying, and what he did, he became a police officer. He worked with the FBI, and while he was doing the FBI, he studied law. And then when he started making more money than that, he left the FBI, became a full-time lawyer, and the rest is history. But every time I'm lucky enough to see him on TV, it's to drive, because you know what? You know, and this is my kirk about white people. You know, if I would say, if I was a white son, he'd give me the whole kit caboodle, right? But his thing is this: I ain't giving you shit. You gotta look. This is my money.
You gotta get that shit yourself.
Yeah, you gotta get that shit yourself. I'm not giving you a damn penny. You're not getting. Now he'll give to my kids, you know, all that shit. But I don't ask for anything from him. I try to make my own way, because that's what I was taught to do. Because he is a prime example of someone who didn't have anything, that was dealing with some tough times in the 60s or the 50s, 60s and things like that. But he made it out. And every time I see his cake ass on TV, I'm proud to say I'm his motherfucking son. So I see what you're saying. But unfortunately, a lot of us don't have dad. And that plays a huge part as well in what's going on with our black men.
Yeah, but even then, Steve, I mean, like the old nature versus nurture argument. How much of this shit is you versus your environment? At some point, you have to fucking take a stand. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no doubt.
You can't keep blaming life on your environment.
Or the past.
Or the past, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, I'm not going to bullshit. I have different views. But on this one tonight, nah, fuck that. Hey, you know what? I'm not going out like this. I got to step my fucking game up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It's like, goddamn, man.
Well, it's hard, but can you tell us a quick story? When you try to help black people, have you been called a coon, a sellout, a Uncle Tom, or you acting white when you're giving business advice to a black person?
Even in my current position that I spoke to you a few months back, getting promoted into the supervisor role, and I had a tech that I used to work with tell me how I used to always be standing next to my toolbox, and now as a supervisor, I'm always pushing my guys, pushing my techs. And I'm like, yeah, but see, the difference was when I was a mechanic and standing next to my toolbox, my job was already complete. That's why I was able to stand there next to my toolbox and watch everybody else work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's the work ethic that helped promote me. So yeah, you get shit like that, but at the same time, it's like if you step your game up, you will prosper. It may not be today or tomorrow, but you will. And so it's like, for me, how often do I have to, how I don't want to give up on sticking my hand back to say, come, let me help you up. You know, but at the same time, am I going to lose that hand doing it? Like coming into this new shop where I was able to motivate guys on a daily basis. So what you going to do? What's your future going to be like? Is this it for you? You know, keep hitting them in the head, keep pressing them buttons to make them say, hey, let me step my fucking game up. Let me go ahead and get these licenses, get these certifications, and do something else.
All right, well, 770, we want to say thank you, but I do want to say Pop Culture Fate 29. Please call in because I don't understand what you're saying about who's holding the whites accountable. Until you have the answer, they will continue to own you without a leash. Funny how some blacks are happy with 500K houses, but with our wells stripped of 2.5 million. I don't understand what he's talking about, but call in, sir. Because
yeah, call in.
Huh?
Yeah, tell them to call in. So call in, and then let's go with one more caller, Steve, and then we'll go back.
Thank you.
And talk about some more of the points.
We'll go ahead.
And drift off. So let's do that. No, yeah, we stay on top of the topic. So
go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Let's take one more caller, and then we'll go to the.
One more call, then we go to it. Okay, next caller up is area code 540. What's your name? What's your question, sir?
Yo, what's up, Steve, O'Shea? This is George.
What up, George? What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yes, George.
Yeah. I wanted to chime in just real quick on 3 topics, 2 things really quick. So to the original topic, I thought the video wasn't that nuanced. And the fact that like the average black person wouldn't be able to get like what the real message of the thing was to me to at least listen to somebody else with a different opinion. And so they won't hear that white dude. And this part that stuck out the most to me was when the white dude said something about like them worshiping Tupac. And then I saw other reviews from black folks, and then they were like, yeah, worshiping Tupac's all right. So like obviously to me, they didn't get it.
They didn't get it. Right.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the idea of solutions. And Steve, you already hit on it a lot. And it's kind of related to you guys already talked about it a couple episodes ago about Malcolm Jenkins and the NFL. And now you got other players in the NFL talking about he's a coon, even though he's got $89 million to support those causes. None of that money goes in his pocket. And he's doing that for black people, but somehow he's still a coon.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make no sense to me. It seems like every time that you try and do something for black people positive, or that's a little bit different, or not in complete lockstep, Stephen A. Smith kind of talked about it today, that automatically you're a coon, you're a sellout, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that I wanted to talk about was they had this thing called Blogging Heads TV with Glenn Lowry and John McWhorter. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. But they kind of referenced talking about I think Ta-Nehisi Coates or whoever, and he was saying something along the lines of like you know how he talked about the white man got his foot on my neck and blah blah blah, and how it's not so much the typical black person gonna like it, but the thing that really stuck out was the fact that so many white liberals love it, and then like they all up in the New York Times and things like that trying to prop that up, and like that, along with the idea of white privilege, like it doesn't even include the idea of class, and y'all kind of already talked about it. Like Billy Bob from Kansas, like just because he's white doesn't mean so much as if you Obama's daughter and you grow up in Massachusetts, and no one ever really talks about that. They just try and act like, oh, just because you white, you just gonna have more money automatically, when that's just not the case. That's all I got to say.
All right. Hey, wow. Okay, O'Shea, do you have something to say on that, sir?
No. Let's kind of echo.
Okay.
Yeah, let's pause real quick.
All right.
And we're going to touch on some stuff because we still have both sides to talk about.
Okay, one second, O'Shea, and I just want to let everybody know y'all are on the queue. I see you guys. We will get y'all in as soon as we can. All right, go ahead, O'Shea, please.
I'm still echoing.
Wait, so let me bring you down up. Okay, try it now. You okay now?
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So listen, let's talk about the point again. The white guys, we're still on the white honky supposedly character guy that was rapping. He says this.
The white honky guy.
I mean, that's what he's, that's his character. That's what they're trying to say is, right? Honky, kind of fat white guy. Okay. He says, I'm not racist and I never lied, but I think there's a disconnect between your culture and mine. I worship the Einsteins, study the Steve Jobs. But you ride Tupac's dick like he was a fucking god. Oh my god! And all you care about is rapping and stunting and being ratchet, and that's the nigga within you. Music rotting your brain and slowly starting to convince you. Then you let your kids listen, and then the cycle continues. Okay, let's pause because you make a strong point.
Damn.
But let me take a talking point. Here's the thing: the companies who own rap music that blacks are being poisoned by, as he says,
are
Jewish whites.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
So white people control these industries in the radio stations that this music comes from. Okay, fair enough, right? That's a flaw in the argument. But we also understand that white people too consume this music. They listen to rap music. They don't go out and do this shit. It doesn't bother them. They buy it. They mostly buy it and they dance to it and cut it off. That's no problem. But black people, are black people studying the right role models?
No, they're not.
Okay, so is he lying about this, or is he telling the truth?
No, he's telling the truth, and unfortunately, like he said, he studied the Einsteins and the Steve Jobs, and again, I commend him, and I wish more people did see Einstein and the Steve Jobs of how they created something out of nothing. But with that being said, I want to talk about Tupac. Again, I always ask you, and I always mention this, have you ever seen a movie called Deep Cover with Lawrence Fishburne, O'Shea?
I've never seen it, no.
Okay, basically Lawrence Fishburne was a police officer that was so deep caught into the underworld that he started to really believe who he was and who he was betraying. That's what Deep Cover is. Why am I saying this about Tupac? Because Tupac came from, I think it was like one of those Juilliard schools or something like Tupac. Well, if y'all guys go back and look at Tupac before he went deep undercover, he was a guy that talked about love, and I had this girl, and I like girls, and all this others. That's who he was. Then all of a sudden, when he shaved his head, he started talking about black issues, which he could. I mean, I'm not knocking him talking about black issues. I mean, anybody has a right to do that. I'm sorry, that was my computer yelling at me. Excuse me. But the problem is because people believe. The thing is people believe what they see on TV, and what people don't understand is a lot of these guys that walk around in those ghetto neighborhoods rapping about the rims and their car and their money. As soon as they say cut, they're going right to those white upper or middle class neighborhoods and getting as far away from black people as possible. And that's what they don't want to be. They don't want you to know that. What they want you to think is these motherfuckers are keeping it real. These are real ass motherfuckers. He is speaking to me. Do you understand the rappers are Pinocchio to the Jewish people's Geppetto? They are pulling the strings. Like the news, they know what to do to incite you because they know your mind is so small. Your thinking is so fucked up that you will follow LeBron. If LeBron James started wearing a dress tomorrow, motherfuckers will start wearing dresses just because LeBron did it. You know, when LeBron held a purse, they didn't call it a purse. What they call it, a guy bag or some shit like that. That's what they don't understand. These black men are being used to whittle down black men. But the white kids, we're not talking about the white kids. I mean, they're doing the same thing to them dumbasses too. I'm just saying this, that when you're looking at this Tupac thing, like he said, y'all are making this guy bigger than what he is, or you're gonna say Biggie because they die, they're special and all this other shit. They are just two individuals utilizing the things that these Jewish men are giving them to make y'all think that they're bigger than what they are.
Okay, let's have a serious conversation.
Yes.
Okay, do you think? Well, let me ask that because you don't want to answer. You need like to talk. So here's what I'm gonna say. White people can complain and say that, hey, black people, you guys worship Tupac. That's your role model.
Yes.
But let's be honest here. Do white people really want blacks studying role models like Steve Jobs?
No, that's the thing. The most dangerous black man is the one that does that. The one looks in the stocks. Okay, I'm sorry.
So then this is what I'm trying to make. It behooves, because you need somebody because you need somebody to fail. Any society, you need someone to fail. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Somebody has to fail.
Yes.
The wealth of the United States has inherently depended on the failure or the low class of somebody, which in most cases tend to be blacks. Now it might be some immigrant Mexicans, stuff like that. So we have an industrialized prison context, all that stuff. I'm gonna come out and say this: it is not white people's best interest for black people to like great role models. Here's the reason why. Okay, if white people understand that there are black people who are talented, and this you have to understand, it goes back to slavery. Let me point out something to you. There was something that happened in the Haitian Revolution from 1792 with Toussaint Overture, the invading French army. First thing that ever happens in the history of slavery, you have a black slave revolt that's successful. Haiti defeats Napoleon and the powerful French, defeats his own brother-in-law. Funny, in that same escapade, Poland is coming with the French, but Poland finds out that France is going to turn on Poland, so Poland helps Haitians kill the French. Okay, what you have is all the slave owners across the world are afraid. Who's afraid? The Portuguese in Brazil. They're afraid. The British has Jamaica, which is right there. And then you have Spain that has the Dominican Republic. Okay? All of these slave traders are afraid. Because some black person, and they're smartest and brightest black people, have found out how to defeat white people in the war. So the first thing when America finds out, it says, we have to get rid of these more intelligent blacks. We have to do this. The reason why is the intelligent blacks are the most threatening. Here's why I'm gonna prove it to you, Steve.
Yes.
What happened to blacks in the day if white people found out that blacks could read? What happened to those blacks?
That's our joke that we always say to ourselves when you and I are talking. The most dangerous slave was the one who could read, write, and think.
Okay, so we know this, that people who could read, blacks that could read, they had to pretend that they couldn't read, right? If white people found out that blacks could read, it was a problem. You can be put to death. Okay, we don't want you niggas reading and writing. Okay, so let's think about this real quick. It is in white people's best interest, for the most part. If you're a white conservative, I'm not saying you're racist. The last thing that you want is black people reading, black people developing scientific concepts, black people developing things that could affect and also build up nations overseas and stuff like that, building their own. White people typically in America, they don't want to see, I don't think they want to see black people doing that. I think that white people want blacks to become smart employees. Like they don't have problems with them being medical doctors, and they don't have problems with them being lawyers in the confines of the system that white people create. But in the context of black people starting their own societies independent of whites that can be a rival like China in the future or something like Russia, white people don't like that. I really feel that's the case. So what you got to understand is while the guy is criticizing black people for having looking at Tupac and people as heroes, you got to understand that is the more that blacks fail is the more that whites can be successful. And the number one way that whites can continue to be successful in the United States is for blacks to fail and to have bad role models. Because again, history reports that even Thomas Sowell said this. When the blacks got out of slavery, there was a division between the ghetto blacks who were not as dumb and the blacks that were smart. White conservatives will come out and say all the time, we want blacks to do better. That's bullshit. I don't believe it.
No.
White conservatives, they have no interest, I feel, in blacks becoming, because then they're gonna complain about, okay, now you have these smart niggas taking our jobs. That's what you're gonna hear. Because at first now it's the immigrants. It's the immigrants taking our jobs. But if you get smart blacks, then what you're gonna have, if black becomes really, really smart and start doing really, really well as a group in America, then you will have a race war. You will not have a race war as long as blacks are doing worse than whites. That's how I feel. I don't know if I can vouch for it, but I think that's where we're going. And history has shown us that every time blacks try to do that, you're going to have a problem. That's why, like somebody says, you have your blacks as entertainment. You have your blacks in sports. You don't have a lot of black sports owners. I think that's there for a reason, Steve.
Well, okay, and let's look at the big picture, because you going on some shit you shouldn't be talking about, because they don't need to know this. See, regardless of what color you are, white people are shrewd businessmen. They don't want anybody to get what they want, or anybody to know the secret. Right. So what they do to black people is they say, hey, wait, whoa. Let them march. Let them protest. Let them loot. Let them destroy. Because as long as they're doing that over there, following the Tupacs, wanting to buy the rims, as long as they're doing that over there, they're not thinking about stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They're not thinking about building and creating communities. So everything is fine the way it is, because as soon as, quote unquote, O'Shea, that one learns how to, read and write, where he then decides, wait a second here, we're not getting anything done by fucking marching and protesting. I need to go damage them. And listen, the only way you will fuck with them, because right now, let's be honest, O'Shea, they don't care what we're doing right now. They want us to do that. The news wants us. Everybody wants them to do that. But when you then start to think outside the box and say, wait a second, let me learn about what stocks are. Let me learn about the different types of stocks. Let me start to, when I got time, do a little bit of day trading and get into the stock market. That's when there's going to be a problem, because then, wait a second, who told you to think? That's when you become dangerous. See, people want to become dangerous by the things they think they're doing right now. They're not a danger. They're letting you do that. They don't mind you doing that. The danger comes in when you want to unplug yourself from that bullshit rhetoric and you want to create wealth. You want to get into the day trading or stock game. That's when you got a bulls. That's when they know you're a threat, because at that point they know you're dangerous. You can read and you can write like back in the day. They will try to do everything they can to stop you, because they know if you know the game, then oh shit, what happens if you teach another black person how to maintain and start stocks, and then it starts another one? Then it will create a domino effect that they can't stop. But right now, everything is perfect, because whites, hey, when they hear white supremacy, they were like, man, yeah, he's right, that white supremacy, because they know when you're talking white supremacy, you ain't talking stocks. You're not talking growth. You got a shitload of callers, so.
Okay, so and this is what we're saying, and we're not saying all whites feel the same way. I'm not saying that, but here's what we want to say is this: is that inherently, historically, whites have tried to penalize blacks for trying to be bright, and the division amongst intelligent blacks and poor blacks was started. The deviation was started by white people, right? Because the free slaves were heavily respected by blacks, and the way that you can destroy the community and separate those people is by having blacks who are not as intelligent from blacks who are intelligent. And it's what it is. It's business. It's nothing to be upset about it. But you have to understand that the biggest threat to any group of people are the smartest people. You take the most talented, most smartest group of people. Hey, listen, black kids with glasses. How about you call in right now, bitch? Don't be in here trolling. Call into the show so you can get cussed out. You want a race to fail, take away the brightest people, integrate them into your society, let the dumb people take care of themselves. That's how you do it. Steve, bring the other caller.
Okay, let's bring in area code for the long way. We're sorry for the long way. Area code, did we do 770 already?
Yeah, we did something already.
540. Excuse me.
We did them already too, I think.
540. We did 540.
I think so. That's George.
We did that. Okay, 843.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, 843. You're on 843. What's your question, sir?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Josiah. I'm just calling in. I'm enjoying the show. Just seeing how you guys are doing. What's going on, Steve? What's going on, O'Shea?
What's up, Josiah, man? Thanks for the donation earlier, dog.
I looked over the video. You hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah, so I saw the video. Me and the team, we looked at it. Some guys actually cringed. They're like, they couldn't stand watching it. But I was like, wait, before you judge it, listen to the words of what he's saying. Like, if it's causing conviction inside your heart, then that means he's hitting on a point. Because I agree with what you were talking about. I remember my grandfather told me that the first way how they divided the blacks was they showed the educated black and said, you see how he's sitting over there reading that book? Yeah, he thinks he's better than you. He thinks he's a white man. So it's sad because blacks, we associate success with the color. I mean, I'm sure y'all heard that before. When you're doing something or you're trying to make a move, they call you white boy, coon, Uncle Tom.
Yes.
Even though Uncle Tom was the book that actually put people on about the wrongdoings of slavery. But it's funny that they call the prominent black man the Uncle Tom when he's trying to make prominent moves.
They mean Sambo. They mean Sambo.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Sambo, but you know, the uneducated Negro doesn't, read. So it's like they always said, if you want to keep something from the black man, you put it in a book. But that's neither here or there, because the fact about it was, and I know y'all getting to the black person's part, but the problem with it was that as long as you can keep the Negro angry,
yes,
you got it.
Yes.
And the problem, the thing about that is, men like you, O'Shea, and me, when we see things like this, we take a step back and we analyze it. And we see the problem is the average Negro. I'm not saying everyone, but what the man is trying to say is that you're too much focused on racism. The only thing that the white man was actually telling them is like, I don't understand why you focus on stupidity and on welfare and other dumb stuff when you can just build yourself up. Like, instead of you coming in, understand, we already know that the white man done fucked us over before.
Yes.
But being mad at the past ain't going to change your future.
Mm-mm.
Because you can sit there and be mad all day long. But then, would the video have been any different if there was an African standing in the white man's spot talking to the African American?
That's a good point.
Wow.
Same thing.
If it was an Arab or a Chinese man saying it instead of the white man. See, people don't understand that. If it had been a different ethnic minority standing there, what if it was the Indian or the Haitian? See, that's the thing that nobody ever caught. But they just played it on, oh, it's a white man saying it. So the minute they saw it as a white man saying it, it was like, you can't tell me. And I understand they have done their share of dirt to us. But in the same sense, I would honestly point back. If you look back in the past, our predecessors had way less than we did. But yet they still were successful in inventing medical science, building schools and stuff. So when other minorities come here and they look at us and they say, listen, I came from nothing. What's your excuse when you have a head start ahead of me? In other words, to a minority, we are the white man. I'm not going to say we are them, but in other words, when you have somebody who comes from nothing, dirt poor, and they see the African American, they're saying, like, listen, you have a $1.4 trillion spending.
Right.
How the hell aren't you winning? Or why am I coming in and beating you?
Yes.
So I mean, I'm not trying to preach, but that's something that I like. That's something that a lot of these blacks, and they only play the white man part. I don't know why, instead of listening to the whole video. But that's something that just always got me. That I think as black people, we focus too hard on, oh my God, I can't believe Steve said that, or O'Shea's looking down on us, talking that. See, when a black man is saying something that is true and factual, it's seen as hypocrisy, or nobody likes to be accountable. When a child messes up, they don't like being told that you did wrong. Nobody wants to hear that. The reason why blacks were respected back then in the civil rights movement was because though they were getting screwed over left and right, they still did their job. They still showed up at work. They still tried to build up their society. Yes, you burned down my village. Yes, you did kill a few of our people, but we still will prosper. But nowadays, let a white man say, listen, I get it. Pick your shit up and move on. They don't like hearing that. They're like, no, you can't tell me that. But everybody has a problem. Excuse my language, but everybody has a problem. Like, it's 2017. Who hasn't gone through a struggle? I mean, honestly, when a black man says, I'm oppressed, you honestly can say, have you seen Libya lately? Like, I mean, come on now. So it's kind of like the card is already being pulled from under the table. So, I mean, that's all I have to say, guys. I enjoy your show. Keep up the good work. I got to send y'all a Patreon. Much pieces and blessings, guys.
Thank you, man. We love that.
Thanks so much, Josiah, man. We gotta link up and do a show together, man. No doubt.
That was great. That was awesome. Yeah,
we got Sub-Zero at, man. I want Sub-Zero to call in. Sub-Zero still here in the chat? Sub-Zero?
Black person side yet, O'Shea. We got a long show to do. We just hit the white person side set. We still got the black person side to do.
How many people we got in the chat right now?
We got 7 waiting in line, sir.
Okay, let's bring on the next caller then.
All right, let's bring the next one in. The next one in is this might be Virginia, area code 757.
What's going on, Steve? This Jay. I was listening to your content today. I just wanted to speak on like our behalf, man. We gotta advance, man. Like seriously, like it's too many resources and money out here, and our people, we just not getting it. Like we just sitting around watching when it's like a whole world of money out here.
Oh man, so much.
We slacking right now, man.
Yes,
it's books like the white man. They don't want us to read books. Like it's set up like that, and I feel like that's the reason we're not getting the information to prosper. We're not forcing ourselves to get the information to prosper, and that's one of the reasons why we're behind. Everybody thinks that we supposed to be out here playing sports and stuff like that, man. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
O'Shea,
O'Shea?
I agree. I think this is what I want to say. Here's what I think. I think that white people don't have a problem with blacks doing well as long as black people don't throw it in their face. And it goes back to the old Booker T. Washington adage, kind of taking the subservient position to white people. For example, this is what I want to say. Jack Johnson was the first black heavyweight champion. Jack Johnson got some money, some notoriety, and then he started going out fucking white women, marrying white women, throwing it in the black's face. I think this is what really strikes a big discord. I think that if blacks are to start to do well, I know this is going to start to sound bad. What are the things that if black people do get the information and do start doing very good, they're going to have to do it in a quiet way.
Yes.
In order for them to keep it. I know that's going to sound, bad, right? The last thing that blacks need to do, which is a problem with all black people, is when you start doing very well, you start boasting, you start showboating, and trying to make somebody else feel bad. And I think this is something that if blacks start to do very well in the country, blacks are going to have to do it and keep it quiet. And you're going to have to do it like the Indians do it, and do it like other groups do it, and don't like the Asians do it. I think, do it and not brag about it. But I think what he's saying is for the most part true.
No,
I think.
Go ahead.
I think the main thing is the classes of black people. Like, for instance, like I came out of college, black college, went to the DMV, and got me a job, computer science major and all of that.
Good.
So I had got a job, building my business and stuff like that. But the main issues that you see on TV and social media and stuff like that, when you're talking to a certain class of black people, you don't hear the nonsense. The first thing they come to tell you is how to build yourself up out here. You don't hear anything about politics or anything like that. Yeah. As much as you hear from the people that we started out with, they're complaining about what's on social media and TV and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
So it's a different kind of dialect between classes. Which when I got up here, it's a lot of blacks helping other black people. So
yeah, we're not saying it's not. We're not saying it's not out there. What we're saying is this. I would say this to any black man: be careful about who you bring into your group. I want y'all to build small first, and work with guys that you can trust that will push you and educate you at the same time. I'll give you an example. You know, I'm an arrogant fucking prick that think I know it all. But when I talk to O'Shea, even though I don't like that motherfucker, I'll shut up and put my ego at the door and listen to what he has to say, because I know that spending time with him, what he's giving me is something that's going to be benefiting me. So if it's beneficial to me, I'm going to shut the fuck up and listen. And that's what you need. But you got to be careful about who you bring into your circle, because everything that shines isn't gold. And sometimes people come in and they want to do harm from within the circle or in the group. So you're absolutely right in what you're saying, but you just got to be careful, because there's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of people who want what you have right now, and they're going to do everything they can to try to knock you down, and whatever color they are, but some are going to be black. So you just got to be careful, man, that you really got to be careful. But I love the thought process that you have and the grind that you've been doing, young man.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll throw you back in. O'Shea, do you want to take a call, or are we going to?
Yeah, let's do this. Just real quick. I'm gonna get to my man Sub-Zero 3639. Really good YouTube channel. Another black conservative. I met him through Mr. Black Men Taking Our Community Back. I got to get him on again. That's one of my favorite YouTubers. But before we bring on Sub-Zero on 334, I want to notice that both of these, if you look at this video, think about this. Both of these guys, the white guy, one thing he never blamed as far as the black community, he never blamed black women. Now here's the thing. When you're thinking about, because the white man represents, historically, the system of white supremacy. Okay? And if you think about who is the real king of the black community, you want to be fair, it should have been the white guy rapping to the black woman, in my opinion. He talks all about the black man and what the black man is doing. But if you think about some of the things he said, Steve, like, I'm spending my money, you lazy as fuck, you rather sell drugs than get a job to be straight, turn around and complain about the poverty rate, fuck out my face, and for some weed and some liquor or a fucking babysitter. I mean, listen, food stamp, okay, listen to this. I think this is a shot at black chicks, right? So you can keep living off free government assistance, food stamps for your children, but you're still trying to sell it. Okay, we all know that that's black women that sell food stamps. They're the ones that get them.
Yes.
Or some weed and some liquor or a fucking babysitter. We know damn well that the fucking babysitter is black. Okay, so here, Steve, he's silently taking shots at black women. Yes. Now, what I want to say is this. The I'm Not Racist and the Black Lives Matter movement was started by black men. Didn't start that, Steve.
No, they did not.
Who started it?
Women.
Black women. Okay. So really, is the issue of this problem with the racism between blacks and whites, is this really a white man versus black woman issue?
I don't think it ever was. For me, I think it's more of a class issue than a race issue. But that's just my thinking. But again, the way to make money or to get a following is by using white people as the crutch. That's the smartest thing you can do. As soon as you quote unquote become pro-black, or you from black people, and you start making movies about black people or doing things with black, then everybody thinks you are the next savior of all black people. And that's just unfortunately how it was. And with these women, now again, they covered it up pretty well though, huh? When did you find out it was ran by women? Did you ever think when you first heard it that it was women that started this, man?
Well, yeah, and it was women who were queer, not even heterosexual, but all gay black women, kind of overweight. So, Yeah, so this is interesting. I mean, the more we talk about this, the song, you start to see a little bit of inner working of maybe what's going on here. Okay, but let's do this. Steve, let's take in a 334. That's Sub-Zero.
334.
And shout out to Sub-Zero, man. Good channel. White conservative. Let's hear what he has to say about that, Steve.
Okay, he's in. He's on.
What up, Sub-Zero?
Yo, what's up, man? What's happening?
What's up, hey, man? Glad to have you on, man. We gotta do some shows together, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And Steve don't know this, man. Steve know my government name. I done broke bread with Steve. I done spent about $400-$500 with Steve, man.
Really? You buy something, that nigga?
Yeah, man. I bought Steve stuff back in 2012, man.
Oh, damn. Okay. Did it work?
Did it work for you?
I mean, it did. I just actually, man, I had it on a phone and lost it, man. I lost all my stuff. I think it was, God dang. It was one you was talking about Ninja when you was talking about.
Well, just get back. Just send me an email. Go send me an email, and I got your number, and we'll chop it up, man.
Okay. Well, look, man. I want to say this, man. First of all, I appreciate. One thing I'm noticing about YouTube is there is a plethora of like black conservatives coming out and explaining themselves. And see, the problem with black conservatism is once you sit and get over your emotions and you stop being illogical and get all of the social justice out your head and you start really listening to what these brothers are talking about, it just makes sense. It's just logical. And I've kind of dislodged myself from Facebook because of that one reason, because I got sick of scrolling through my timeline and seeing all the emotional, Colin Kaepernick stuff. I got in a lot of heated discussions over that mess. And one thing I want to say, man, like in 2006, like I don't look at this as bragging. Like I think brothers need to hear this. So I'm going to say this. In 2006, I made $600,000 flipping houses. Right?
Damn.
Now, I bought my first property in 2005. It took, well, no, wait a minute. I bought my first property in 2003. That property took me 2 years. And a white man gave me $5,000 to finish it. It was the white guy that my dad used to work for.
Wow.
And my dad called the guy and told him, and he asked the guy, just inquired, and he gave me $5,000 to finish it, and I made $20,000. Then I did another property through 2005. It took me a year to get it. I sold that property, and in January of 2006, just so these guys can hear, I had a property in Millbrook, Alabama, which is adjacent to Montgomery, Alabama. We put the property under contract. We sold that property, and I walked out of the lawyer's office 4 hours. I closed that morning, and 4 hours later, we walked out with a $100,000 check. Once you do that, that will fuck your head up. You will never think the same about money. You'll never look, because you then understand that you make your own destiny. You're not some weak, at the effect of racism, white supremacy individual.
Can you say that again, sir? Can you say that one more time? Can you say that one more time, please? Say that, please.
You're not at the effect of racism and white supremacy, man. When you walk out of a lawyer's office with a year's salary in your check, that'll fuck your whole world up. It does. Like, it changes the way you look at shit. You think, shit, I just worked on. There was a house I did. I sold that house 4 hours later. 4 hours later, I made $100,000. Then a couple of months later, I bought a big house, sold that, made $80,000. Then like 30 days later, I was rolling. In each house I was doing, I was pulling 30, 40,000 in. Like I'll rehab, because a lot of the shit my dad taught me to know how to do. God rest his soul, my dad actually taught me something. Even though my parents were divorced, my dad was in my life, and he showed me a lot of stuff, and I used that. And what I did was I took young brothers under my wing and teach them some of the same shit my dad taught me. And we still cool to this day. But I just, like, I'm just at this point, man, like, I've kind of given up on it. Like I had a friend tell me I'm uppity because I don't want to go to save Pookie and Ray Ray. I said, no, I gave him, I said, no. He said, man, Pookie and Ray Ray and the project just need somebody to tell me. Like, Pookie and Ray Ray is over 18 years old. They're a grown man. He's set in their ways. I catch a kid at 12, 13, that's different.
Right.
It's just like my barber, right? I do database development, right? I do business intelligence, like SQL Server, stuff like that, right? So my barber, I've actually I've been doing a lot of videos about Salesforce. And, you know, you can make like $50, $60 an hour. And if you get, depending on how much certifications you get, how many you get, you can make $300-400 a year. You really can, right? I mentioned it to my barber. I just mentioned it for the email, and I emailed him the information. And he is actually, they have this thing called Trailhead, right? Trailhead, you go in and you earn points. So he's went on Trailhead through Salesforce and earned almost 70,000 points, which for those of you that don't know, that's like top 100 in the world. That's not that many people that have 70,000 points on Trailhead. This guy's a barber. He's about to take the certification test Saturday. This guy, I told him about Salesforce in August. He's already talked to the recruiter that, you know, it's look, man, America, it's so much money to where when I hear people talk this emotional, you know, racism gonna do this and racism, just get away from me. Because I get angry when I hear people say that shit. Like, I get angry because most black people, contrary to popular belief, we're Marxists. We're very left-leaning Marxists. We believe in government. We believe government can fix it. Even though we have over 10,000 elected officials, it ain't shit getting done. There are certain things, I put that on my channel, what's the guy, Thomas Sowell, where he was talking about how there are certain things government can do, and there are certain things government can't do. Government will not and does not economically empower people. Now, if you want to overcome, you know, what is it? Not apartheid, what was it? Jim Crow and all that, then yeah, government is a good tool to do that. But if you want to economically empower yourself, that's something you have to do as an individual. I'm very passionate about this shit. I preach on it all the time. I talk about it. And I've learned, as I'm learning, as I'm going through life, some people just don't want it, man. Some people don't want shit for themselves. They want it cut open and sliced and fed in their mouths. Some people ain't got the heart to go out there and get it out of the mud, you know. And that's the shit you gotta have, man. Real talk.
We got to get together, man. Probably let's try to get together tomorrow, man, and do a show. We got to put this game out to these brothers, man, and they can hear it. And I certainly we'll keep you on the queue, man, because you know you're a powerful brother. I thank you, man, for dropping that. Man made $600,000, and he had another brother before you bring in Jamaica. You had another brother on your show that was making how much money a month? $300,000 a month.
He was making $140,000 a month through Amazon. He made his own products. He makes his own hair products. This brother, I met this brother at the Black Enterprise Conference. There's a show I used to listen to every day called Blackonomics, and the guy's name is Dave Anderson. He's on YouTube. You can Google him. But he teaches tax lien courses. So this is one thing, and I know you got to go. So he teaches courses, and I actually went and bought a house for him for $8,000 through tax liens, because in the state of Georgia, you have a 12-month right of redemption. In D.C., for those brothers that are in the DMV, D.C. has a land bank, which means when you go and buy that property from that land bank, you get the title free and clear, fee simple, which means nobody has any claim to that property. You're getting these properties for pennies on the dollar. Oh, hand me this racism, white supremacy. Don't do it. Because every day when a gazelle wakes up in the Serengeti, he's not gonna be like, well, I can't go to the water hole because it's an alligator and the alligator might get me. No, the gazelle's gonna go to that water hole and he's gonna be circumspect. He's gonna be careful and vigilant. But he's gonna damn sure go get that water because he gotta survive.
I love it.
That's what we are right now, people.
I love it. All right, we'll keep
it real quick. And so thank you so much, man. We're gonna come back to you. We're going to get Jamaican Pepper. He's been waiting. Hey guys, let's do this real quick, man. We're dropping a lot of good game tonight. Brothers calling in. If you're a person that hasn't donated in a while, right? This is Brother Pill Podcast. We do this for black men. Got a new article up tonight on the Negro Manosphere. So, brothers, this is a show that we do for brothers. Support the show, right? If you haven't supported it in a long time, always support Black Male Media, right? When you guys donate to us, we come up with the free ebooks. We've done 3 this year, and then we have a new comic coming out. You guys on Patreon, you guys have seen that. So get the likes up, brothers, and support us as we're trying to create, have better entertainment and content. Last night's show was awesome. So let's bring on the next person, Steve, which should be 404. That's Jamaican Pepper.
404 and then 781 in that order. So be patient, everybody, when we bring you in 1 second. 404, you're on, sir. What's going on for him?
Hey, how's it going?
You're Jamaican?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. What's up? What's up, O'Shea?
Is Jamaican Pepper?
What's happening?
Oh shit, Steve, give him the Justice League before you bring him on, man. We gotta give it to him though. He's a good dude to us. Hold on, we gotta bring you in right. Steve, hit him with the Justice League. Elevator.
All right.
Yeah, man, bring me in right.
All right. He asked me to find. All right, let me a second. I'll bring you in right. Hold on a second. Here we go. Here you go. We're gonna bring you in right. Here you go.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Oh shit. What's up, Jamaican?
What's happening, man? How y'all doing?
Man, we doing good, man. Glad to finally hear your voice, man. Thanks for what you do for the channel, man. We really love you, man. Got our love for you, man. You're always in here supporting and shit and talking shit to people.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all a lot, man. Y'all done taught me a lot, you know, since I've linked up with y'all, you know. Well, I want to tell my story real quick. I mean, you know, I hear what the topic is about, and everybody's concerned about this, how white folks treat black folks. Where I'm from, nobody helped me come up in life. When I started in life, I was making $1,200 Jamaican dollars a week. Back then, that was 20 years ago. That's like $15 US. I couldn't survive on that, but I had to do that. I finally got my visa, came to America here. Got a construction job digging trenches on the expressway. Did that for 1 year. While I was doing that, I was going to school and certified. The master technician, diesel technician. Was making like $8 an hour. When I got certified, they jumped me up to about $16.40. And I saved all my money. I was living with family, the bumming with family, living there. Saved all my money, right? Still did my trench work, still went to school, did everything. Saved my money, left there, went to Atlanta. Came to Atlanta, lived with some friends for 3 weeks. Got into my job. They bumped me up after the first year to $20-some, and I'm now making almost $30 an hour. Never asked nobody for nothing. Took my licks and did my thing and came up. Been working 2 jobs now for over 10 years. Part-time job, night manager, parts store. Never asked nobody for nothing. Never let white folks bother me. Whatever they want to do, they do. As long as they pay me, I'll give them up. 8 hours solid work, and they give me 2 weeks pay. I don't ask them for nothing. They don't bother me. I put in my work, get my promotion, make my money, and that's it. I don't worry about what white folks do. Because where I'm from, we have to deal with deeper issues than white folks. We don't have to deal with no racism like that, or not like that. We have to deal with actually surviving. So, you know, I understand what people are saying about white folks this or white folks that, but that doesn't need to focus on yourself, you know what I mean? Get your shit up, you know what I mean? Can't worry about white folks. That's all I'm trying to say, man.
All right. Well,
what do you? I don't let that white stuff bother me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then I go, hey.
What do you do? Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Jamaican, what do you do now? And how did you get a visa to the USA? How did you get it?
My pop set that up for me because he's been coming here, and he worked for Mazda, and they need to certify him. So the company was big. They got him a visa through the government. He came here. He lived there for like a year. My mom stayed home, took care of us. He sent the money back home. I went there, started filing for us. Me, my brother, my sister. So Mom's got a visa first. Then naturally we get ours because both our parents have it. So that's what I happened. I finished my high school education on there. Told them I don't want to come to America to live. I don't want to live here. I love Jamaica too much. I don't want to come here. But reality struck when I was down there working and I realized the struggle is real. I'm like, shit, let me try America. So that's what I did, you know. I eventually made the move here. It was a good move though. Because now I'm good, you know.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're here too. So again, man, that's a powerful story. Shout out again to Sub-Zero and other people super chatting. You know, that's from a black person. You know, Steve. Again, we talk about blacks who his dad was over here, and his dad does the honorable thing, makes the plan to get his family from Jamaica. He could have stayed in America and started, oh fuck y'all way over there. I get me a new chick and everything. He brings his whole family over here. I mean, that's honorable.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Jamaican, we want to say thank you, man, and we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I just want to say thank you. We'll appreciate you. We'll put you back in the queue and stuff like that. But we just want to say thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for sure.
All right, thanks again, man. I gotta do a moderator. We gotta do a moderator show, man. Because Donnell, I don't know why Donnell don't be calling in. Donnell funny as fuck, and high def is too. And make these niggas call in one night.
Called in yesterday. Whoever that dude was calling, getting that woman ass had me cracking up. But you have another call before.
Oh, Young Guru, yeah. Hold on, let me shout some people out, man. Also, Mr. Grandeur, Jamaican. I'm the Jamaican Diesel taking the A2. All right, man, get out, get with Mr. Grandeur, man. See, brothers connecting over here. Sub-Zero, thank you, man. R-Poc, well done, gentlemen. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brothers. Keep the likes up, man. Keep supporting the show. Steve, let's bring in 781. I think he's a liberal.
Okay, 781. This the dude with the glasses. Am I correct?
That's that motherfucker.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing today?
What's going on, dog?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up?
Hey, how you doing? No, I'm actually not a liberal though. I'm actually a conservative, but yeah, I mean, I really love your show. I really love your show a lot. The only thing I really kind of disagreed with was kind of I deal with a lot of black people on a daily, and I've been to school with a lot of black people. And the funny thing is there just seems to be this kind of white supremacy type of mentality that I really just kind of disagree with. And it kind of gets under my skin because I know so many successful black people, like everywhere, like a lot of people who are successful, who are black at the same time. And I did watch the Joyner Lucas video, and I did kind of agree with a lot of what the white guy was actually saying as well. So I don't really agree about like the white man trying to hold us down or the white man trying to stop us from becoming super successful. I think really it's really up to us as people to really want to progress and want to economically do the right thing.
Sir, okay.
I feel like we're given tools. We're given tools on a daily basis. We have access to the internet. We have access to a lot of different things. And I feel like even your callers to begin with are an example that the white man in general isn't trying to hold us down, or the white man isn't trying to stop us from becoming successful to begin with.
Well, sir,
So,
718. That, well, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, but that's what I've been saying. Everything. I don't know where you don't disagree. You say you disagree, but that's what I've been saying since the beginning of time, young man.
Yeah.
So you were like, I don't agree with, but
I think you're talking about me. He wasn't talking about you.
Talking about you then, because I
talking about O'Shea.
Oh, I'll shut up. Get on O'Shea ass. I'm gonna step back. Go ahead, get him.
Here's what I gotta say. I'm a moderate conservative, right? I do not think that individually you will see black people being successful. That's true. I think that we'd be a fool to say, yeah, individually you do see black people being successful. On a major scale, though, you don't see black people as successful, right, as maybe some other core groups. I'm not saying that the white man is trying to hold blacks down, because I think, if a black person creates a great product and the United States sells it, like Tyler Perry, for example, everybody watches movies abroad. What I'm saying is that I feel that white people are going to have a problem if blacks get to a higher level than them. That's where the line will be drawn. And historically, and a lot of people say, well, it doesn't affect us now. To a certain extent, that is true. But you got to understand that a lot of this functional behavior you see from blacks a lot of the dysfunctional attitudes you see from blacks, a lot of whites want to wash their hands and say, oh, look at those niggas. But anything that black people would have done and they learned in a dysfunctional way, they've learned it from whites. And you got to understand that in our country, we don't have our own culture. We are, as I heard one guy say, white people are our step parents. So if there's anything that they see that we have done that's been fucked up or ghetto or trash, well, we've learned it from them. And so I think that's another absolvement of whites from blacks. But what you're saying is totally true. I don't feel that, however, while you do see individual blacks who do well, there's no way somebody's going to tell me that, if blacks do very well to a certain level of whites, there won't be a big problem. And there will. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah. So I think, like, personally for me, I would kind of have to disagree because I'm not sure why white people would be upset, because here's the thing. Asian people in America are doing better than white people, and at the same time, they're a minority. So it's kind of like Asian. I mean, I don't know why they would be angry, because would it be because of racism or jealousy, or would it just be? I just don't really understand, and I also don't really understand what would happen or what they would actually do if black people ended up being more successful than white people. I think really at the end of the day that black people, personally, we're given like affirmative action, and we're given a lot of different opportunities to actually rise and become better people to begin with. So we're given a few privileges over white people and a lot of other minorities to begin with. So it's almost like they want us to be successful, or they're trying to help us out to be successful to begin with. So I just don't really understand, even if we're more successfjust than white people.
Let me help you understand this real quick. When you say,
okay,
I don't know what they would do.
All right, caller. Well, let
me just respond real quick. When you say Asian Americans, let's clarify what you mean by when you say Asians. Are you talking about Chinese? Are you talking about Filipinos? When you say Asians, you're not talking about a core group of people. You're talking about those from India, those from Pakistan, those from Mongolia, those from Kazakhstan. You're talking about those from the Philippines, and you're talking about China, Japan, or whatever. Okay, Asian Americans are not a monolithic group. Okay, so that's the thing. African Americans are a monolithic racial identity group. So when you look at one group of people who's the second largest minority that's indigenous to the United States, it's African Americans. You have white people who built America, and then you have black people who built America. So there's always, as a monolithic group that comes from, the West Africa, the Gambia, Senegambia, Nigeria, the Igbo region, those slaves, 40-something million of those people are still in America. They are a monolithic group as far as racial identity is concerned, as far as culture is concerned. Asian Americans do not represent a monolithic group. They are people who have come here after the country. So black Americans and white Americans, they both have rights, if anybody, to the American soil, because they've been there from the beginning. That's one part. The second part is one half of the black Americans. They were the reason why America got so rich, due to certain things. So you got to understand, when you say Asian Americans are not a monolithic racial group. African Americans are a monolithic racial group, and white Americans, for the most part, are a monolithic. So that's why you have that kind of good versus evil kind of thing, and both sides kind of have a lot of animosity between each other. So that's my last point, Steve, and we can go to the next caller again.
Thank you, 718, for your call, big guy. We'll put you back in.
Oh,
okay,
very much.
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Okay. Now, O'Shea. Looks like we're okay. But O'Shea, now we gotta. I mean, we do have 44 minutes still left because we reset everything. But we got to talk about the black guy.
Okay, black side. Okay, let's do this. And good caller, he makes some points, but when you look at Asian Americans, you guys don't think, when you think Asians, don't just think Chinese or Japanese. Think Arabs. Okay, think Indians. Okay, because the Middle East of Asia is Arabs, Muslims. All those are considered Asians. Indians, Pakistanians, people from Bangladesh. All of those are Asians. Okay, so let's start off with the black guy, Steve. Black guy says, okay, black people, and Steve, let me go back to the thing. He starts off his rant talking about, I don't like white people. Don't like white people. Okay. I don't like you white motherfuckers. Let's start there. Do black people as a whole have a reason to not like whites? Not trust whites?
That's yes and no, man. That's a yes and no answer.
Okay.
Because I can only speak for me and my mindset here. I can only judge people off of how they treat me. I don't give a fuck how they treat you guys. It's how they, again, I'm selfish and conceited, so self-centered. So if somebody treats me well, then I'm fine with them. If he treats you indifferent, that's not my problem. That's something that y'all got to deal with. Now, if he kills you or harms you because you didn't do nothing, now then my perspective will change then. But I'm not going to judge a race off of some shit that they might have done to somebody else. I'm going to judge every man that I meet based off of the merits of how he treats me. So for me, it's a little bit different because, I'm on some other shit, man. So
I think it's a fair assessment. When I see a white person, the first thing I don't think of, hey, motherfucker, you put my great granddaddy in slavery. I don't think that. But I will say this, Steve. Those blacks who feel like white people are not trustworthy, individually, you give your individual white people, right? I think even this, Steve. Here's the sick thing. Even white racist people have their individual black friends that they will fuck you up over if you call them a nigger.
Yes,
and that's funny, right? People are like that. There's white people that hate black people, and they got a few black friends that they love the motherfuckers. And if you fuck with them, they gonna shoot your ass. And you have black people who hate white folks for the most part. And they got like one or two white friends. If you fuck with them, they gonna kill you. Or you have that typical, racist white guy married to a black woman. That's another story. Or the vice versa, the black racist motherfucker married to the white woman. But I think of this. Black people, do they have a reason to maybe have a distrust towards white people? Sure. I don't disagree. I don't think that they should. I mean, they have a reason to hate white people though. As a whole, I think it might be stupid to do so, because at the end of the day, you're only hurting yourself. And like I said, when you're angry, aggressive, like the caller pointed out before, Steve, you just make it bad for yourself. Hating white people is pointless. Being upset with white people is pointless. I feel just like anybody, white people took an opportunity and they maximized on it. I think if blacks had the same opportunity, they would do the same thing, maybe. So I don't think, Steve, that it could be bad, because listen, when black people went back to Africa and Liberia, do you know what they did? They did the same thing to the indigenous Africans that whites did to us. The same thing. They went and oppressed them as whites did to us. So, anybody, if they have an opportunity, they're going to take it, Steve, I think. So I think that to say, I don't like you white motherfuckers, I think that's a lot of black people's problems. You have a right to maybe not trust people or kind of think that people don't have your best interest, but to say, I don't like you and I hate you white motherfuckers, that's dumb. I think it's very immature.
Yeah, we should hate black people then as well. That's my whole point. So we should hate black people then. If we want to hate white people for what they did to us back then we need to hate black people just the same, and the Spaniards and all the motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, because black people did a number on other blacks.
But they don't want to. But see, that's what some of these people in this chat room don't want to go. And again, I hope they call in, because I gave them the number. But that's the thing they don't want to deal with.
Right.
They want to think it's always been the white man. But like I say, if you're going to hate the white man for what he did in the past, you're going to have to hate damn near every other race who enslaved us as the same. So
yeah. And in fact, Steve, this before the next caller, I saw a guy got some free land in Ghana, building a house in Ghana, just because a chief gave him some free land for his tribe taking his people and selling them into slavery. So even you have Ghanaian chiefs understanding that in some parts of Africa, yes, our tribe played a role into you blacks being kicked off the continent of Africa. And there are a lot of blacks, do you believe it or not? There are a lot of blacks that are trying to get back into Africa so that they can be on the homeland. I can tell you like this, Steve, and I'm going to be long-winded. I felt at home when I was in Uganda. And I'm not even from East Africa. I'm from West Africa. We all are. And I felt like I belong there. You know, it's an incredible feeling to be back on the continent. But black people, man, played, if not a bigger role in the slave trade than the whites, I think, man, because number one, we invited them people over there, and then you told them how to do all that shit. I mean, you told them the landscape of the land. You let them build that shit on your land. You let them build them slave cages on you. I mean, black people, you got to hate them motherfuckers too. Which is why I think a lot of blacks and Africans don't get along, Steve.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's sad that they want to blame the white man for everything and hate him. But when they realize they know black people get a pass. All the black people that enslaved our ancestors to bring us over there, they get a pass. They get a pass because they didn't know what they were doing. They make up some excuse. But again, I hope some of these pro-black guys that are talking shit in the chat room are man enough to call in and stand on the principles and all the bullshit that they're spewing on the thing. But see, that's how you can see who's a man about their shit, O'Shea. People just talk shit behind the thing, but they can't stand on their principles. I hope these motherfuckers call in because I want to hear what they got to say. But the lines are open. We got 5. Damn, we just got it blew up again. We got 5 in the queue waiting. So
I'm trying to call. I'm gonna tag Willie Sapp, the one that's the truck driver. That's like he's like a real big black power person. I'm trying to get him to call in. I know y'all gonna have.
If you're a black power person, call in. We'll move you to the front. Just give us your area code, and we will push you to the front. And the ones I'm talking to is this pop culture guy, and who's the other motherfucker talking that yak? Pop culture, and I forgot. And Mark, you're Negro or whatever your name is. If y'all got a problem, call in. Just give us
call in.
Give us your 3. Okay, wait. You're a black. Oh wait, hold on. We got one Sub-Zero 334.
Okay, no, he already talked already. That's the guy that about your products.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Gino Fu, right? That's my he's an Asian guy. He's a lawyer. Okay, successful guy. He's even supported the super chat. I've been knowing him for many years. A successful attorney, and he's called in to drop some knowledge, man. As a Chinese attorney, you know what I mean. So shout out to him. And so Steve, let's bring somebody on.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of those pro-black. I want to move them over because I want to hear what they want to say. All right,
you want to cuss their ass out? I know.
I just want to hear what they had to say. 5-4. Let me see who's been waiting the longest so far. All right, area code 540. You're up. Then you. What's your name? Question, sir?
Oh, no, it's still George. What is it? I think real quick, what I wanted to say way earlier had to do about everyone wanted to be a victim, and I think I kind of understand what you were saying, O'Shea, about why so many white folks buy Gucci Mane and Tupac albums and things like that, and it's because of the left-wing mindset of everyone trying to be a victim. If you ever see on a college campus these days, someone either trying to claim that they queer, they gay, they Native American when they ain't, anything like that, they trying to do everything the wrong way from being white because being everything but white is cool. So being a victim is cool. And I think that's why so many people, buy the rap albums and things like that. Cause I know Negroes ain't buying them albums. It costs too much. So I'm done.
Okay, so wait, so Sub-Zero is the one we already talked to, O'Shea?
Yeah, we already talked to him.
Okay, we already talked to him. Okay, all right. So thank you, 540. We appreciate the call. But yeah, we want to get any pro-black guy that feels what we're saying or feels the white man's fault to anything. Please call in, give us your area code, and we'll move you right to the front because we want to talk. I want to talk to them motherfuckers. But O'Shea, while we waiting, do you want to continue to the next few lines?
Yeah, let's go to the next few lines about Joyner Lucas. I'm not racist. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't really like you white motherfuckers. That's just where I'm at. Screaming all lives matter is a protest to my protest. What kind of shit is that? and that's one war you'll never win. Okay, let's talk about the all lives matter. So white people, when Black Lives Matter came out, because you had your Mike Brown shooting of the police, which a lot of black people didn't feel it was justified. From what I saw on the reports and stuff like that, I kind of felt it could have been justified. I'm not, like I said, I wasn't there, but certainly you have black people that have been in situations where they get killed by the police and deserve to get shot, and there are situations where the opposite happens. But Steve, he's making a good point. White people come out and say Black Lives Matter is a bullshit slogan. It is. Black Lives Matter is a bullshit organization. I think it's just dumb, stupid. But then they come out with All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter.
Yes.
Now, and as a response to All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. Yes. So I think All Lives Matter is pretty much saying that, it's almost like White Lives Matter. But Steve, what do you think about the All Lives Matter thing? Do you think it was bullshit also as a response, or?
Wait a second, Hannibal, give me your area code. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing, Eric, Hannibal, give us your area code. We'll bring you in. But no, this is what I'm saying, O'Shea, about that. You are allowed to have pride. No, I don't know where we got it. Where we the only ones that are allowed to say we got black entertainment television and we got this and black that. You are allowed to say that if you're a prideful black person. Well, I don't want to. Well, for y'all like to use that color black and that other bullshit. But anyway, but if you're a prideful black person, you can say all that stuff. But with that being said, you cannot get offended by police officers being prideful, by Asians being prideful, by white people being prideful. You can't get mad at those because everybody has pride. That's the problem. We, as black people, we can't accept other people having pride for their own race. And if they came out with white entertainment television, the fucking the Negro Manosphere would burn down and hating races, because guess what? It's a kind of a double standard here with black people. Black people are the only group of people that can push black. But as soon as a prideful other race or another race talks about their Asian pride or their white pride, now white pride in a good way, I'm not talking about white pride as a Nazi, okay? Everybody has a problem with that shit, man.
Okay, what about Blue Lives Matter? Cops.
Well, no, I am on the side of police officers. I believe that there are there's a bad. See, we got to understand, there's bad everything. There's not 100% good anything. So unfortunately, police officers get the blunt of this because they're the ones having to deal with the problems of the world. And I'm not making excuses for what they do, because in some scenarios they do fuck up. But in other scenarios, they give their lives away to try to protect and serve other people. So it's a kind of a balance. So I listen, for me, I'm for the police officers, because you know what? Well, I won't need them because I got guns in my house, but because it's a good thing living in Texas. But what I'm saying is it's always odd. These motherfuckers are screaming all these fuck these cop shit. But when shit hit the motherfucking fan, they the first motherfuckers to dial 911. Now, let me see here.
Okay, here's what I gotta say. Although Black Lives Matter is bullshit, right?
Yes.
There have been instances where you see blacks who are killed by police, and sometimes where black people are not doing anything wrong. I mean, one thanks Gino Food for this. Like, one thing could have been like I'm not gonna say this is a very touchy one, like the Philip Castile thing, Philippe, whatever his name was. Okay, that's kind of a touchy one. Real quick, I'm not gonna really go into that, but there have been cases where blacks have been killed by the police, and the police officer gets off.
Yes.
So this is what Black Lives Matter is saying. Like, hey, you cops can kill a black person, and and usually there's no penalty. Now, the position that I feel that Black Lives Matter is bullshit, because black people kill black people all the time, and there's no penalty for that, and nobody cares, right? That's my problem.
They don't care. That's something
the problem is though, if blacks who get killed by the police and a lot of police officers get off, white people are saying Black Lives Matter is bullshit, and then you want to say, oh well, all lives matter, and that's just as much bullshit, if not even more, than Black Lives Matter. Because if you really want to think about it, you're saying all lives matter as if everybody in America is being treated all equally in the same justice system. And we already know that all lives are not treated equally and fairly under the law. That's not how it works in America. It has not ever been like that. So the fact is, Black Lives Matter is bullshit. All lives matter, which was a response to bullshit, is bullshit. Blue Lives Matter is also as bullshit as Black Lives Matter. So I mean, the whole premise of what these guys are trying to do based off of their things was started from a position of bullshit. All of these particular instances all fall on fuckery. Black Lives Matter is a bunch of fuckery. All Lives Matter starts on a group of fuckery. Blue Lives Matter, which is a response to Black Lives Matter, is all on fuckery. So, again, you can't say Black Lives Matter is fuckery and let me start my own fuckery. That's just what I think. I think that, but so a response to my protest, which I don't think is really a protest, because a lot of these guys, Steve, when it comes to a lot of these blacks who are being killed by police, you are killing yourselves in a higher form, and you don't care about that. You want to point out that blacks are killing you, and some of these deaths are numerically not consistent, especially when you have these guys who are coming up in non-disciplined homes, a lot of fuckery, Steve. So, Black Lives Matter was bullshit from the beginning. All Lives Matter was even bullshit based off bullshit. So I think that rhyme was a protest to my protest. That point was kind of well taken, but still.
All right, can bullshit. We break 1-8, sir?
Yeah, bring who in?
718, the pro-black.
Yeah, bring him in real quick, Steve, and I'm gonna take a piss real quick.
Okay, go take a piss. All right, 718. Are you the pro-black they called it? You the Hannibal?
I am Hannibal.
Every time, Hannibal. Okay, what's going on, Hannibal? Tell us your stance. What's going on, man?
Well, first of all, I really appreciate what you guys do. And although I don't agree with some of the political stances that you guys take, you have a right to take them.
Thank you.
Okay. This is still America.
Thank you.
Right. Now my whole thing is simple. I don't agree with Black Lives Matter. I feel like the first people who should be trying to defend Black lives and stop Black people from killing each other is other Black people.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
If we can't build our own community, we can't truly expect anybody else to help us. That's why I donate, and that's why I listen to you guys' program.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, we have a lot of issues in the Black community, but a lot of those issues are not issues that were started by us. They are issues that we have carried from slavery. And I think that it's going to take more time for us to get them together.
But okay, sir, what issue do you have that you I mean, remember you never been a slave before, but what slavery issue are you carrying over? That's what I want to ask. What slavery issue are you carrying over?
Number one, Steve, institutional racism.
Okay.
I'm not fortunate enough to own my own business. I have to go out and interview for jobs just like everybody else. Okay. Now, when I go in there, I'm going in at a deficit. Whether I have the same education or a better education and background, and that's been proven. You can poo-poo it if you want to, but that's just fact.
I'm not. Listen,
O'Shea.
I'm saying.
Go ahead,
sir. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But you said another thing. You can always begin to form and create something while you are trying to get that job that you may or may not get. But the question
I agree with you. Listen, we agree on more things than we disagree about. Right. It's just how we get there. That's the only thing that I'm talking about.
No. I'm
all right.
It's all good.
O'Shea, brother, you said earlier about us not holding Africans in Africa responsible. Yes, we should hold them responsible. Nobody ever came for us. Nobody ever offered us any kind of help.
Yeah, yeah.
But yet and still, out of all the diaspora of Black people in the world, Black Americans have risen the farthest. And that's not because we're lazy. That's not because we don't want anything. That's not because we don't keep trying.
But with all due respect, it's kind of okay. Here's my thing. And I with no, and again, no disrespect. I just want to ask you the question. If you know you have the opportunity, if you know you have the opportunity right now, the greatest time in your life to create something, why isn't that you're not trying to create something? That's all I'm at. I mean, I'm just wondering.
But who said that, Steve? Who said that I wasn't trying to create something?
Okay.
We have to live until we are able to create something, right?
Well, no, but okay, you do okay. Most people.
Listen to you talk about how you worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
No, Kids Kingdom,
or whatever that
Kids
was,
Kingdom.
Until you could come up with enough money to get to do what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, but no. While I was working at Kids Kingdom, I had my Adventures of Frisky the Ferret comic book that I was working on. I was working on my poetry. Well, I was making money on my poetry and selling it.
I'm saying. But you had to have a way to pay the bills.
Well, yeah, wait. And that's what I'm saying, sir. Yes, you're right. And that's why what I did was I worked my 8 hours. I did my time. But after those 8 hours were over, that left me with about 16 hours. Okay. That left me with 16 hours to not go out and have fun, not go out and party, to eat ramen noodles, and to sacrifice a lot.
With all due respect, I understand, and I commend you, and I commend O'Shea on what you're doing. You know, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong. I'm saying that there's just a different way of getting there.
Right. I understand what it is. Yeah, you're right. There is a different way of getting there. But all I just want to say to those who are doing it slow, that you got to try to live every day like it's your last, because you don't know when you're going to go. You know what I mean? And to sit around, I'm not saying you, no means. I'm just saying somebody else, not you, definitely not you. I'm just saying there are a lot of Black people out there that were rather
cut you up, but I feel like every black man needs to get a kick in the ass so that he wakes up and gets himself together. Okay? Because you can't do it alone, and nobody else can either.
Right, but what's the kick? What is the, when you say the kick in the ass? What is the kick in the ass?
Aren't you and O'Shea kicking people in the ass right now?
Well, yeah, that's what we do. Matter of not only kicking,
not only
kicking the ass, but we also help.
And that's why I say I commend you for that.
Yeah. We again, my whole thing is that we have my thing. Here's my biggest bitch. If I can bitch, here's my biggest bitch, big dog. My biggest bitch is there were Black people before us who got lynched, who got killed, chewed up by dogs, and shot by water, yanked out of their homes. I mean, they went through a lot of shit to get us to where we're at now.
You said your family came from Louisiana?
Yeah, but yeah,
my family came from Alabama for the same reasons.
Right, no doubt. And what I'm saying is that I feel that as Black people, as Black men, fuck these women because they don't fuck, they emotional, they bitches don't listen. They're just talking about the men. But
we're not talking about them.
Yeah, but for Black men, I feel that we owe it. Now, if we're going back to the past, I feel like we owe those people that made those sacrifices much more, because if they came back to the world today, if they had some way to come back and see what they sacrificed, they'd be like, man, fuck all you motherfuckers. I'm not doing shit for you. Yes.
Here's the thing. Even if we went back in the day, all the Black men didn't own everything back then. Everybody didn't own a business. Everybody wasn't like part of the upper class.
Yes, sir. You're right. Yes, I agree.
There are people who grind and work every day, but that doesn't mean that you can't be respectable.
Well, no.
That doesn't mean that you can't carry yourself in a respectable way.
But that's the point. No one's okay. That's the issue. When you're sagging your pants, okay, again, you can sag your pants if you want. I'm not here to tell nobody not to sag their pants.
I don't sag my pants.
No, not you, sir. I'm not talking about you.
And I wanted to say one other thing to you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
That's a great T-shirt you have on, man.
Thank you. I'm a Marvel DC cowboy fan. So someone got this for me. It was a gift from somebody. But no, I appreciate that. But no, I just want to say, listen, the thing is that as Black people, whether you agree with myself or O'Shea or whatever, the bottom line is what we need to do, even though we might not agree on everything, we got to think about these young kids who are lost as fuck right now. And we gotta find a way
together.
Well,
we have to figure out a way that we can come together and not get so caught up on our particular individual politics.
Right, but it starts with accountability, though, and that's a lot of things. Sometimes a lot of Black people don't want to take.
I agree,
and that's where
I agree.
O'Shea, but what do you at on that? O'Shea, you're on. You got it, man.
No. I just heard the end of it, but from what I heard, I don't disagree.
Okay, well, but Hannibal, I just want, thank you for calling in, because we got to keep the show rolling. But if there's anything else,
for taking my call. I appreciate it, guys. And I will continue to support you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Hannibal. We appreciate you, fam. Thank you, brother. All right,
let me do something real quick. I want to hold on. Melanin Power. Hey, call in, bitch. He says, call in and talk to a coon. You know, call in, motherfucker. You ain't got no fucking phone.
Is it calling
the only motherfucker that got unlimited minutes and run out of unlimited minutes, you bitch.
Who is he calling a coon?
Probably you, but hold on, let me shout out people, man. Josiah had donated $5. Why is that Black man compares success to the white man rather than work on his own lane when we both had the different head starts? I agree. Again, Gino Fu, my man out of LA, MP5, $6. Good job, guys. Love the honest dialogue. I agree with that.
I don't want them to compare to. No one's saying compared to a white man. I'm just saying be a.
No. He's saying in general.
Right. What I'm saying in general, you should stand on the principle of being a man. Stop. The society has given us colors, and society has told us what we should and should not be. But one thing they don't want us to be is men. They don't want us to be men.
And let me just do this also. Brandon L. Blacks want a Grammy, not no damn BET award. Oh, that's damn true.
Yeah.
We got any more callers, dog?
Yeah, we got 4 in the queue.
Anybody new that's calling? Or?
No, we got 8. We got 843 757.
Let's see,
we did 324 and 334. So we got 16 minutes left, but we got
you niggas call in. Y'all was calling in last night though.
Yeah, because it was off the chain. Shit.
Last night, man, you niggas was all on the phone and shit. It was crazy. Can I ask my question now before I leave? If you call in, if you call.
Lorenzo, call in.
Call the number, Lorenzo. 515-605-9373, okay?
515-605-9373, Lorenzo. Call in and we'll put you motherfucker. Lorenzo, unless you super chat it. That's the only way you're gonna get noticed. Look, you can super chat it in the room, or you can call in free, and that's the only two options you got, fam.
Let me just say this as to again, I'm gonna do a whole video on Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. Let me just say this real quick. When you say Black Lives Matter, you're only saying that Black Lives Matter only matters if a white person kills you. That's bullshit. When people respond with the phrase "all lives matter," what white people are saying in that particular statement is we are all brothers and sisters. Everybody's lives matter. And in other words, they're saying there is all a sense of equality. This is the statement that whites are making when they say all lives matter. We are all important. When historically we already know, and in the country there's never been equality in the law or due process. There was a law that was 2/3 of a man. It was a legal law. So you can never say all lives matter because there's a bigger disparity between blacks and whites for many reasons in the United States. Okay, so all lives matter is nothing more than a white conservative talking point to kind of absolve themselves from their problems in black community fuckery. Historically, that's all lives matter is saying. And Black Lives Matter is trying to absolve themselves from black people who kill one another. This is how you know when black people and white people both are fucking disingenuous. Both are unaccountable groups of motherfuckers. And that is exactly why race relationships between whites and blacks will never be great in America, because both groups are very much disingenuous. Which is why, as a black conservative, I do not, and I refuse. I don't have a white conservative following. Don't want it. Never want it. For those particular, I agree with a lot of white talking points from even white racists. I agree with a lot of it. But when you talk about all lives matter, as a black person, it's a very dangerous. I think it's a very dangerous thing to say. Oh, all white. It's just as disingenuous as Black Lives Matter. If not, it's the same equality of fuckery. So, but like I said, both black people and white people are both on bullshit, and that's the problem. And I think this song points out both white people and black people both have things they don't want to be absolved from, and they both don't want to blame themselves for whatever problems they have in their own fuckery. That's all it is. And nobody wants to say that. I'll say it. Steve, anybody? We got
Lorenzo. I think he's calling in.
Okay, let's bring Lorenzo on the line.
It's Lorenzo. 218. Is this you, Lorenzo?
That's Angel.
Hey, sexy Steve.
Hey,
I'm sorry for you. I know sexy Steve is the same time assuming things, something going down that's the way it seems. There's no reason for him to act strange. Say my name, but no one is around you. Sexy Steve could say he loves you. Why the sudden change?
Fuck you, O'Shea. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, O'Shea. I'm gonna throw you back in.
Hey, look, man. Angel, since I made him a moderator, dog, he has become one of the best trolls. Notice that he's all like, "Hey, man, make me moderator, make me moderator." I was like, "No." But dude, he calls and he trolls the fuck out of you.
Man, we got other calls. If you want to bring them
Call back in. Let him back on the line, dog.
Wait, Angel? No, he fell out. With Angel. Call back in.
He came in. It says, "Say my name, dog." All right, go bring the next person.
We got 843-540-757 in that order.
Okay. All right, let's bring whoever just called in the quickest, I guess.
All right, 843. What's your question, sir? Comment.
How y'all doing, guys? How y'all doing? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna see how y'all play with this. Okay. I've been part of this company, and though every time I try to build myself up, you cut me down. I built a town, you take away my funding and you burn it down.
Mm-hmm.
I built another town in Florida, you burn that down.
Okay.
After that, you give me welfare, but you take my men and you put them in jail.
Okay.
You tell me to trust the police, but the police come in my town at nighttime and beat me and incarcerate me.
Okay.
You tell me that, hey, you can trust me, but inventions that I made, you stole it from me.
Okay.
But then when I have somebody that is positive, you either kill them or you sabotage them.
Uh-huh.
So I would say, at what point before I say that, every other man that's come in, when the Asian came in and you put them in encampment, you gave them reparations. The Indians, after you killed them, you gave them reparations. The Arabs, after they felt like they were unjustified and treated wrong, you gave them money to their country. But then when I say, hey, where's my pay due? You say, Negro, pick up your boots. But I don't have no damn boots. Well, I came over here and I made it work. Why can't you? Well, you forget. You told me I wasn't allowed pay. I wasn't allowed land. I didn't get the rights until you felt that your woman deserved rights. And then even then, you still treated me like crap. So whenever I did something, you always treat me like the bastard child.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do I am supposed to show you any type of love?
Can I start with that, Steve?
You got the floor.
Okay, is that Josiah again?
Yeah, you know it's me.
Okay, he's just giving a scenario. Okay, let's kind of start with the beginning. I build a town, you destroy it. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, in the case, and we gotta use the Booker T. Washington narrative, and this is the only way I feel blacks can be very successful in the United States. And I think that the other groups of people who are here have taken this to a certain degree. Black people, because they have been here as long as whites in a certain ways. Where like if there's anybody, two groups of people indigenous to these line here, it's blacks and whites. The mistake that blacks make is when they do become successful, they want to try to throw it back in white people's faces. See, that's what we're not talking about here. Okay, and it happens. You see it in Jack Johnson. You see the problem with the whole thing where you had a black guy that was supposed to be raped by a white woman, and you know that whole Oklahoma thing, Tulsa thing. Black people got to understand this between race animosities and things of this nature. And you don't think this is gonna sound fucked up. Black people can never afford to throw their successes in white folks' faces. I'm just gonna say it like that. White people would like to see black folks, you know, I think do okay if black people have somewhat of a subservient position. And I think that the problem with a lot of black people is that they got to understand that a lot of blacks in America, when you are not in control, you know, it's have to say it like this: you got to stay in your place. When you are a successful group of people like blacks were, and when they went and took those arms and over that what's that Rosewood situation, and they were, oh, we're gonna defend against our people and stuff like that. The problem is this: whenever blacks become very successful and they throw it in white folks' face, you're gonna have problems. So of course they're gonna burn it down. I think that if blacks get very successful again and you start boasting about how good you're doing, expect the same thing. Black people got to understand, in Booker T. Washington, one of the reasons why he got a lot of blacks not killed after slavery is that blacks had to take a certain subservient position to whites. That was what the Atlanta Compromise is about. If black people feel in America, and I'm going to say this, you might disagree, if you feel that you're going to be in America and have a lot of success and throw it in white folks' faces, be prepared to have some serious things happen to you. If black people can be successful and kind of just shut their fucking mouths and not try to flaunt it and shit like that, then we'll be okay. So I think, you know, that's one point that we're leaving out. If black people want to do certain other things, and I think what he was saying is trusting the police, stuff like that. You know, again, it all goes back to any kind of black violence that we've seen from whites. It's the Klan. It's keeping niggas in their place. You know, police brutality, whatever. Keeping niggas in there. Hey, nigga, I don't, you know, you got all this access. Stay in your place. If I'm a black person and I'm coming up and I understand this how it's going to be, I'm moving them. I'm trying to integrate back onto Africa. I'm trying to integrate back to where a place is, because you got to understand, in this country, you will never run it, you know, and you got to understand you are a minority. A minority should be in a subservient position to the population, to the majority. That's how it should be. And I don't think necessarily there's anything, you know, necessarily I would say wrong with that way. But the thing about it is this: that's what black people have to understand. Your black success is not based off if you get a little money thrown in the white folks' faces, thrown in other people's faces. You know, look at Japan. They do their shit quietly. Look at China. They do their shit quietly. They do it without talking a lot of shit. They do it without trying to make other people feel bad. You know, a lot of black people cause a lot of animosity between themselves by doing certain things. And I think, you know, that's a big deal to certain people. So that's all I got to say, Steve.
No, you covered it all. All right. Well,
thank you, guys. I just wanted to just pretend to be the pro-black for once.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is this: a lot of black people, especially a lot of black men, you guys feel you're going to be in America and you're going to be stunting on white people and you know, bragging on what you're doing when you know, let's be honest, 95% of the time you're making your money based off of white technology or white business or white infrastructure. I mean, anybody who's doing good based off of a white development, for the most part, in the way a white person sees it, if I'm a white person and I see a lot of black people throwing it in my face how much better they're doing than me, I'm going to take it personal and I'm going to take it from you. I would do the same fucking thing. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I think you brag when you get some. I think you brag when you have your own military. You brag when you have your own missiles. You brag when you have your own people that can fight nations. That's when you brag. You don't be bragging about shit that you have when you need them people to protect you still. But I don't know. What you think, Steve?
No, I have nothing to say. I agree with you wholeheartedly, dog. You're absolutely right, dog.
No.
So, all right. Well, we'll throw you back in the queue. 540. Did we talk to 540?
We talked to them already.
Okay. So, all right. We got 3 minutes left. So, what else do we need to cover?
No, you know, I just I don't know, man. It's been a very interesting show. For the most part, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and you know, Steve, I guess we can still, even if the callers don't call in, we can still talk about some of the other things, right?
Yes.
He said, "Nigga, that word was originated for you to keep us under. When we use it, we know that's how we greet each other, and when you use it, we know that's a double meaning. Under." And if I wasn't picking, okay, let's start with that. So, Steve, me and you call you the word nigga, but we know the word nigga was to, you know, well, it's really a derivative of the Spanish word negro, which means black. But okay, do you think that if black people don't want white folks using the word nigga, why are we using it?
I think black people, what do they say? They say black, that's a sense of a term of endearment. I think they say it is. It's a term of endearment or something.
Hold on a second. I'm just saying, call in so I can cut your ass out, nigga. I'm just saying.
What is he saying?
To stop nigga shaming. Call in so I can shame you personally. It just be me and you. Cut your motherfucking out. Okay, so let's talk about that. So do you think that white should use the word nigga?
I don't really, you know what? I don't care if they use it. You know why? Because it's a word, man. What? I don't know, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand why we get so bent out of shape with a word and why it tries to affect us. Again, I can only speak for me. I guess a lot of people don't like it. Listen, we hear nigga all the time. But okay. Here's what I want to say. I guess I want to throw this at you, O'Shea. You threw that one at me. So, do black comedians should stop fucking using white people as satire in all of their fucking shows?
I think if they don't want white folks doing the same thing to them, I mean, I mean, to me, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I think black people, if you feel like the word nigga is offensive to you, and you don't want white people using that word, then it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? I don't know. I understand.
Yeah,
but nigga or nigger is still the meaning is still bad.
Yes, it is.
But I know that when we say it, we don't mean it as a bad term. When black people say nigga, we don't mean it as a racist. What up, my nigga? What's up? What up, nigga? You know what I mean? Oh, nigga, shit. You know.
Exactly. No, it's a term of endearment. I don't. No, you'd say, you know, but not us. I'm just saying that I don't have a problem with it. But you do have a call 213. Just press the button.
Okay, bring him on. Bring him in.
All right, 213 will be the last one because the queue's going down. 213, did you have something to say to O'Shea?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that must be Gino Food. What up, boy?
Hey, Gino, O'Shea. Thank you for taking my call, guys. I guess I just have two things to say. The first thing is, according to that earlier, that caller was talking about everything that's been happening and things like that. And I just want you guys to realize when we talk like that about, you know, what happened in the past, about society and everything like that, and what we need to do, we're talking about apples and oranges. We're comparing two very different things. And that would definitely lead to wrong conclusion. For example, apples. I can talk about you, O'Shea, doing your thing as a doctor and things like that, compare you to somebody else, you know, who's going to be a doctor or successful or things like that. Or Steve, you do what you do for your podcast and things like that. Okay, so that's apples and apples comparison. Now we're going to talk about President Trump, and we don't know nothing about him, and Hillary, things like that. Those are oranges. Those are totally different things. We have no way of comparing them. Now we can compare groups like Chinese versus Japanese or Americans, but we can't say, oh, you know, me, Gino, represents all Asian Americans. That's just a fallacy. So when we start saying like, oh, what happened in the past, institution and things like that, yes, we're talking about issues, and those are totally different from what we need to do on a daily basis, what I need to do to finish my things, or somebody needs to do their homework and things like that. So that's very important, because and if you keep on talking like that, it's just going to be misunderstanding, and you're thinking you're talking very smart and you're getting results. You're not. You're confusing yourself and everybody else as you go.
No, okay. I think that's a very good point. And I think what we're doing, we're speaking of it in the context of the song that was done. Have you heard this song, "I'm Not Racist" by Joyner Lucas?
Yeah, he's talking. See, like that. He's not even talking about himself. He's being a poet.
Yeah,
talking about you know what I'm saying. I didn't hear it, but that's what's going on. And another thing is, I had to talk about the word nigga. You know, I'm Asian. I can't really use that word, but I don't think you guys should use it either, because it just brings out what if you're a nigga, what does your girlfriend is? He's definitely a bitch or a hoe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no matter who she is, she's like the queen of Spain. Well, I'm a nigga, and well, that's my hoe. Like, wait a minute, right off the bat, you guys just put everybody in that mindset. You know? And where can you go from that when you're a bitch and hoe? I mean, or you're a dick. Well, where can you go? Never. You can't go anywhere no more. You know what I'm saying? We didn't put you in there. Like, if some people cap on Asians like you're a chink, okay, but we're not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like you guys, everybody wants to grow better. Everybody's like, but my nigga died, my bitch did that, my bitch did this, and my hoes doing that. Like, wait a minute, when did that happen? When did they become hoes? When did they bring $100, whatever, to your pimp? None of that happened.
Oh man, that's awesome, dog. I like this shit. I like you, dog. You all right, man? No, man, Hey man, I telling O'Shea. See, when O'Shea called me in the daytime, be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? I'll be like, hello, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, that's the last thing you be saying.
Just fucking around.
You the most racist motherfucker in the world. Okay, shout out to Gino, man, for calling in. Guy been doing a long time. Hey man, I'll be in LA soon.
You guys are very popular right now. Everybody's looking to you guys for culture, pop culture, and hip hop culture. Okay, everybody in the world's looking to you guys, and you guys don't know the shine that you guys get. Okay,
damn.
Yeah. So that's.
I hope so.
What I want to say.
Okay, well, thank you, man. We appreciate the call, brother. Thank you so much, man.
I hope so, because Steve can finally get some pussy for once.
Hey, what the fuck you talking about, man? No, real quick. So the calls are down. So let's focus that, because there are some things in these verses that we have some problems with. Can we
let's get. I mean, I'm gonna go back down to this is one thing I got a problem with here. Okay, he says something like this in the okay.
My grandmother.
This is a problem. We're talking about the grandmother slave, right? But all you do is false shit. This is the shit that I'm forced with, and you don't know shit about my people. That's what bothers you. You don't know shit about fried chicken nor barbecue. You don't know about the two-step or no loose change. You don't know nothing about 2 Chainz or Kool-Aid. You don't know. Okay.
Oh man, we just went back 500 years.
Yeah. I think this is a good representation that black people have no real culture. This is what he's saying. Steve, we gotta talk about this. Now I'm gonna be a little bit long-winded here.
Go take it, dog.
This sentence here is very powerful. Let me talk about Jamaica, talking about slave land. When you go to even Uganda, and the blacks are speaking Luganda, they have their own black cultures. They have their own history of the Buganda dynasty, the Buganda kingdom. You go to the Igbo region, you go to the Yoruba land, and you see the Oba of Lagos, or you go to Benin, see the Oba. You have these African kings and the African, historic things that these people have from many years ago. You understand how robbed you are as a Black American. Like Black Americans, yes, from a standpoint of being in America and, probably being some of the most smartest or intelligent Blacks in the world and having the most money, yes, but we don't have any culture. And again, Steve, I'm going to read these lyrics back to you to show you how bad it is for us as African American. We have a degenerate culture. So let's talk about this real quick. You don't know about no fried chicken or barbecue. You don't know about the two-step or no loose change. You don't know about no two chains or no Kool-Aid. You don't know. Okay, what's going on with Black culture?
Why are we fried chicken, Kool-Aid, and 2 chains? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I mean, white people like fried chicken, and I know white people drank Kool-Aid back in the day. All kids, all the neighborhood kids who couldn't afford the good shit went and had packs of Kool-Aid. So other than 2 chains, I don't know who 2 chains is. Who the fuck is 2 chains? I don't even know who the fuck that is. So look, fried chicken, look, everybody eats fried chicken. I don't understand. Why does it with shit? He should have said watermelon and grape soda. He should have threw that shit in there every day. It's what he's doing is stereotyping right there, I think, O'Shea. What's your thoughts, man?
It's stereotyping, but I mean, if you think about it, like Blacks, okay, in certain aspects, like the eating of okra, and we do have a lot of African customs that have been handed down from African slaves, to us today, like the way that Blacks eat, okra and certain certain dishes and stuff like that. The way that Blacks dance is inherently it's a big difference from how whites dance. The way that Blacks have church in America is definitely a difference in how Blacks have church. You for the most part, when a Black person's talking, you over the phone, it's a Black person. For 95% of the time, if you're on the phone with a Black person, don't even know them, you know that they're Black. So Black people do have a certain linguistic about them. They have a certain type of comedic thing about. So there is some Black culture that is there, but again, a lot of African and don't get me wrong, African Americans have this a certain type of culture when it comes to entertainment. But when you talk about as far as history, that is passed down today, we have no real culture. A culture is typically linked to a language, and Blacks don't have a language. The only language that we speak is English for most of us. We have no historical concept of where we are from. We don't know where we're from, and we have not brought those ideas. So a lot of Blacks are just lost in America. And I felt that way when I went to Africa. We are lost. Many of us, we don't know. And we are like bastardized in this world because we don't have the culture. And this is the reason why, when we do, go to Ghana, or some of us, we look up, like Dynas is all across, Dynas, my boy Dynas is going to every African culture trying to find, where am I from? Where are my people from? And Steve, the problem with us is we don't have the culture.
Well, I disagree with you on one thing.
Okay.
I think people born before, whoever the kids that have been born 30 years ago from that point,
okay,
to now are the ones I think are more lost, because one thing that we had before, our age, where we had a sense of pride, even though we wasn't a village, we still had a sense of pride. Now, for me, I'm from the DMV. We was listening to go-go music. We had black Mickey Mouse shirts. They were always listening to the Afro, what is it? The black, the green, what are they? What is it? God damn it. I used to love them. I used to listen. X-Clan. We would listen to X-Clan. We would listen to Self-Destruction. We had a little bit of something, but the disconnect, I mean, there was a few disconnects before. Yes, the father's not in the household and all that. But I think we kind of weathered the storm a little bit at our ages, the older guys. But what we're in, the thing that we're into right now, them, and I hate to say, and I hate to use this word, them niggas can't be saved. Did you?
No.
What the kids that were not, maybe not the 90s, a 90s kid now? Oh shit. Man, they are the laziest fuckers, the most victimized fuckers, and it is this. Now again, I know we ain't talking about the black woman here. We just say mom. These confused ass kids don't understand what saggy pants meant in jail. These motherfucking kids they went from they went from wearing tight pants to wearing saggy pants to wearing tight saggy pants. I don't even know how this worked out. But these motherfuckers are the late. You know what? So you know that's how you can tell we old, because you always know, like, the generation before us will always say we the lazy fucked up ones. But no, this is some real shit.
Yeah, these niggas lazy.
Motherfuckers are lazy as fuck. But O'Shea, I think I can kind of understand, because I don't know what we would be if we had the internet. I mean, O'Shea, can you imagine you a teenager in the jungles of Africa with a computer swinging on a tree? Can you imagine having the internet, having a phone with everything that you want right in the palm of your hand? Maybe that will make us lazy. I don't know. Luckily, we didn't have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
But these kids today we are in. But again, I can't blame the kids. As much as I love to blame them little bastards, I can't blame them little shits. All I can blame is mom. It's these women that have just systematically have destroyed black men. Not the ones before 30 years. I'm saying the ones that are here now have destroyed them, have given these boys no sense of pride, no sense of anything, because they have what is known as a kite mentality, O'Shea. Wherever the wind blows, that's where they're gonna go. One day they love Jesse Williams until Jesse broke up with his girl, messed with a white girl. Then they wanted to throw him out. They love you. Matter of fact, what did you say who was arguing over the $80 million that the NFL owners gave them people? Did you know that they fighting and everything now? They having all this dysfunction. Lots of dysfunction because these young boys don't know manhood, and they will never learn manhood, because manhood is saying this. And this is the last thing I'll say. I don't mean to go long, O'Shea. Manhood is saying this: there is bad in the world. There are evil people in the world. There are racist people in the world. There are evil cops in the world, and there are black people in the world that will kill us like that if they got the chance. But as a man, I cannot let that stop me from doing what I need to do. They don't have that, O'Shea, and that's the fucking problem, man.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go back to the black culture. I mean, I think the only kind of black culture that blacks probably had was built to the black church. So, if you were like like the black church culture, at least until recently, you kind of got that kind of Baptist black church culture, which was very that kind of was passed on. But you're right, man. When you go to different places, Africa, even in Haiti, I've never been to Haiti, but I've seen videos. People carrying stuff on their head. It looks just like Africa. It's very Africanized. You look at a lot of these African places, man. These people can speak multiple languages. And you don't really know how at a disadvantage as you are when you're a Black American in a lot of ways. When you're a Black American, you really only speak English, and nor are we looking to speak any other languages. If you go to like Ivory Coast, I mean, they can speak their own local dialect. They can speak French. There's hardly any African person that only speaks one language. Most African people can speak like at least 2 or 3 languages. Oh, and not only do they know English as good as you, if not better, then they know their dialect. They know the history of their kingdoms. They know all of this stuff. They know their own dishes. They know their own foods. And a lot of Black people, we're at a very big disadvantage in that regard. We don't know a local dialect because we don't know where we're from. We could be anywhere from Ghana, from Senegal to Gambia to the Igbo region of Nigeria. You just pick one of those places, and you see that a lot of blacks. You think we have black culture, but we don't. We don't really have a language that we can pass on, because when you have kids with somebody, can you pass on Yoruba? Can you pass on Igbo to somebody? Can you pass on the language of you can't. And that's the thing that I noticed when I go to Ukraine. When you go to Ukraine, Steve, listen to this. Ukrainian people speak Ukraine, first of all, okay? They're going to speak Russian. If they live on the west of Ukraine, they're going to speak Polish. And they speak English. Off top. That's 4 languages, Steve. And not only that, they know all of their history. They know all of their stuff. They know all. I mean, they know these things. They know their formal wear. I mean, black people in America, we don't have. What is our formal wear? Where is our traditional wear? We don't know. Our traditional wear is whatever, a 3-piece suit with a zoot suit with some snakeskin gaiters. That's black culture. And in this point, Steve, black people, we have a very big disadvantage to other blacks who are from other places, because they have a lot more culture. They have a lot more genuine things and knowledge of self than we do. And I think that's where we kind of go wrong there too. But let me kind of go over this, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even though Barack was half black, you hated President Obama. I know that's a fact. You couldn't wait to get him out and put a cracker back. And then you gave us Donald Trump, and now it's payback for that. Typical black liberal talking points here. I don't agree with all. Okay, Steve, weigh in on this. I'm gonna say it again. Even though Barack was half black, you hated President Obama. I know that's a fact. You couldn't wait to get him out and put a cracker back. And then you gave us Donald Trump, and now it's a payback for that. Can you talk about that?
I'm sorry. Hey, man, I can't believe it. Okay, wait a second. Guys, for you young kids, why don't you go to your little phones and look up the word super predator and look at that through Wikipedia, look at that on YouTube, and look with Bill Clinton with Hillary. Look what they did. You guys are basing everyone. You know what was funny? And I pulled it up. Before Donald Trump hit office, do you know how many rappers used Donald Trump's name in their raps? I think it was like, let me pull that up. Because here's the thing. The TV made you guys mad at Trump. Trump has done nothing wrong but be a fucking, to me, because I like The Walking Dead. I like characters like Negan because he's an asshole and people don't like him because he fucked some kid up. But anyway, I love Donald Trump because he gives no fucks.
No.
He is the reason why people don't like him is because they've never had somebody that did not give a fuck what you thought. He gives no fucks. That's why I love him so much. You know why? Because he is going to say what's on his mind, and he doesn't give a fuck what y'all say. But y'all don't like him because what? He was secretly recorded talking about grabbing a bitch in the pussy. Is that why y'all mad at him? Oh, wait, because he did something to black people with the housing or something like that. Wait, I think it was in the 80s or something. You have no fight to stand on. Donald Trump did nothing wrong. See, here, what you guys need to be mad at. You need to be mad at all those people that lied to you and said they were going to vote for Hillary and turned around and realized they don't want a woman in office and they're going to bring a man in. Those are the people you need to get mad at. You shouldn't be mad at Donald Trump. Matter of fact, O'Shea, I'm going to pull it up right now because I saw this a long time ago. How many rappers used? Here you go. You ready for this, O'Shea?
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know what, O'Shea? I said 20, right? I said 20. There have been 67 times rappers have used Donald Trump in their raps. 67 times. I can't even go through all the names of the rappers that have done that. But this is what I'm talking about. Look, Donald Trump, if you don't understand something, Trump is about money and not giving a fuck. Trump is an arrogant, self-centered asshole. And only self-centered assholes can relate to someone who's a self-centered asshole. I love that, man. Like I love Negan. Matter of fact, you know I named my bird Negan. I love that motherfucker Negan so much. But you guys that are mad that Hillary didn't win, look up Super Predator and see what the Clintons did. Think about that. O'Shea, take it, man.
I totally agree. You stole some of my talking points. Let's kind of talk about this. Barack Obama, who number one is not an African American. His dad's an African immigrant. His mom's a white person, so he's not an African American. Number one, what got Obama the black community vote is because Barack Obama was married to an African American woman, Michelle Obama. Number one. Number two, Barack Obama got insane amount of votes from black 2008, 2012. First campaign, black supported Barack Obama at a 98%. Now, again, see, this is what the guys want to make a point on here, Steve. Black, who voted Barack Obama into the White House? The majority of people. Do you know what race they were, Steve?
I would say, were they black?
No. Although blacks voted him in, even if 100% of the black vote voted Barack Obama, that wasn't enough. White people made Barack Obama the president, not once, but twice. I'm gonna say that again. This is stupid. White people are responsible for giving Barack Obama a chance. You cannot win the election without the white vote. White people are like the majority of the country. So they voted for Barack Obama, helped him get in twice. Okay. Second time, though, was a different group of whites. There's more whites that are maybe more because he did go to gay marriage and stuff like that in the second campaign. So that pushed him over the hump. In the 8 years that Barack Obama was the president, race relations in the United States, I believe, got worse between blacks and white people. I think that what we're seeing right now with Trump and kind of like, maybe whites and blacks. And if you even look at it, when Donald Trump when Barack Obama became president, whites were not out rioting or looting or anything like that. They didn't do that. You got to give respect to a lot of whites who opposed Obama. They didn't go out and trash shit, or they didn't go out and say they want to recount. A lot of blacks did that shit when Donald Trump became president, and they acted a fool. A lot of white liberals. Here's the next talking point, Steve. You gave us Donald Trump, and now it's a payback. Well, they gave you Barack Obama in the first place, and when it came for you to go out and vote, like Steve said, blacks stayed at home. Okay. Think about this. Donald Trump had less voting support than who was the guy that when 2016 president election. What's this guy from Massachusetts? This guy's name was who's the other guy I'm talking about, Steve?
I'm not thinking.
The guy was it Romney? If I'm not mistaken, if Romney would have ran against Hillary Clinton with the same numbers that he got, he could also beat Hillary Clinton. So if you look at the numbers that Trump got, they were not good numbers for the country. A lot of people just didn't want either one of them to be president. So they stayed at home. Blacks, I feel, had they had showed up in some of the states that they could have pushed them over, they could have won. Black people stayed at home. So again, and in this last point, Steve, not only did black people stay at home, black people, again, do not talk with the voting political elections with their dollars. Steve, I know I'm a little bit long-winded, but I want to point this out. Political elections are won and lost typically in campaigns. Now, Donald Trump does something a little bit different. He wins the political election with only half the money. I think ABL isn't here. He can vouch for this. If I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump has like maybe half the percentage of what Hillary Clinton raised to win the election. Typically, you cannot do that. Typically, it doesn't happen. Okay? Black people And black men in general, listen to what I'm saying. You cannot just vote with your vote and that's it. You have to vote with your money. Look at the gays. The gays talk with their dollars. They got more accomplished in Barack Obama's things. Yeah, okay, so half, right? Barack Obama, he had more respect for the Hispanics than blacks. He had more respect for the gays. The reason why, Steve, is this. When black people saw they got Barack Obama in office, they thought they're going to get the hookup. Nigga mentality. A lot of black people feel that when you get a black person in power, you're going to get the hookup. Oh, he going to do something for us because we're black. Again, black people, they do not talk with your dollars. Now, think about this. Hillary Clinton raised $1.3 billion. The black community the black community spends $1.4 trillion in a year. You mean to tell me that black people can't raise $300 million in the political election in a 4-year span to push an agenda? Black people can't raise $500 million and give it to both candidates. You say, okay, look, I want my agenda here. I want my agenda here. If blacks were smart, what they would do, they will all raise, okay, whatever our agenda, okay, let's all donate to the black political campaign. We'll give this side $300 million, the other side $300 million, and whoever wins, we get what we want. And we're going to go vote. Black people don't do that, Steve. And so because they don't do that, they want to show up with their vote, but they don't show up with their dollars, and you're still pushed at the back of the line. The gays and those who are sympathetic to them, they show up with their vote and their dollars. Black people don't want to play the game. They don't want to pay to play. And so you're not going to get shit. Again, you want the nigga hookup. Oh, I got a black president. My president's black. He going to look out for me. No, he going to look out for who is paying him. And just like you black men out there, that's why I always tell you guys to support the Negro manosphere. Support what we're doing because it costs money to do what we do. You know, if black men want a website, black men want their own media and be represented, like, it costs money, you know, and black men have to put up their money. The black community got to put up their money. If you don't, you're going to keep getting left behind. That's all I want to say, Steve.
Well, last thing I want to say before, we're sure we're about to wrap things up. I just want to say this. I always tell people that sometimes the TV will come out with shows that laugh at you that you don't even realize they're laughing at you. Mm-hmm. I always tell guys, if you get the opportunity, on Netflix is a show called House of Cards. The reason I tell you guys to watch this is because if you think that there is not something else, you gotta look, you gotta understand. And I don't want to get too deep in this. The president is there, okay? The president is there. But if you think the president is the most powerful motherfucker that's in America right now running shit, there are people that the president has to probably answer to. See, there are things that, again, there are things going on, O'Shea, that people just think it's all, okay, I'm going to click vote this person, put my ballot in, and then all of a sudden who I vote for is, what they got to understand is there are things that are going on that are around you right now that you are oblivious to. Yeah. There are a lot of secret societies. There are a lot of things happening around, a lot of powerful, unfortunately, let's be honest, a lot of powerful white men. I mean, you watch this show Billions. I mean, I love watching those shows. I'm telling you, there are people out there that are even more powerful than your billionaire. There are powerful people moving things. And like I say, like you say with the music industry, there are people up at a high top that are really calling the shots. It's not what you think it is. That's all I want to say. Everything is not what you think it is. It's always smoke and mirrors, and that's how this world is working. But at the end of the day, those people that are calling those shots, they don't care about us. They don't care that we are looting and rioting and standing in line for a $5 pair of Jordans. They don't care. But once that one nigga say, hey, everybody, wait. Why are we in line buying these Jordans when we can take these $400, invest it in some Nike stock, and start flipping? He's gone. A white man, O'Shea, is going to come along and drag that nigga out the crowd. because they don't want you to read and write and think like the slave that O'Shea was saying before. That's all I want to say, O'Shea. But yeah, I know we got to wrap this up. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
What you got on?
Show, man. No, I just want to say I want to thank everybody. It was an awesome show. You know, again, what I want to say is, you know, we all gonna have different ideologies and stuff like this, but I think, you know, black people, you have opportunity, not only in the United States, you have opportunity global. The world is global. The world is going to be as open to you as it is to anybody. I have people. I talked to John Paul today for a good amount of time. He's as white as they can come, right? You know what I mean? And I have Gino Fu. He's Asian.
Yes.
People are going to be open to you as you are open to the world. I think, you know, while there is a racial issue in the world, you know, I understand you do live in a world, man, that if you can perform, color is going to be out of the, you know, hey, listen, this guy's can perform. You know what I mean? This guy's consistent. And people are going to want to deal with people who can be on time, who can produce, who are going to be innovative. And, you know, the world is so right now with the internet, man, you can really make, you know, a lot of things happen. I've never physically met Steve, man. Look at me and Steve have never met in person. Look what we do every day. We bring a great show every day. You know, me, Steve, Rom, you know, Curry, Donovan, you know, we've created an economy, Tony Maceo, right here on the internet without even meeting. And that's just because of just working together, you know? And the thing is, anybody can do this. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to be helped by brothers. I've helped other brothers. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And so we just want to tell black men, you know, you do have an opportunity. You are $600 billion spending power. It's 20 plus million of you guys in the United States. The game is global. You nothing is stopping you from taking your experience to Africa. Nothing is stopping you from taking your experience to Poland. I mean, look, I'm making it in Poland. I can't speak Polish. So there's really no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So I think, again, worried about racism. Think about this, Steve, before we go. If I was so worried about racism, and y'all think racism is bad in America, you haven't even lived in Poland. You don't even know what it's about. Poland is probably the most racist country in the world, by far. Do you think, Steve, I would want to go outside every day? Oh my God, these racist white crackers. Do you think that stops me from going out and vlogging and doing what I'm doing?
No, it doesn't stop you at all.
Do you think I give a fuck about them people?
You give no fucks.
I give no fucks. You know, people like me for me. I already know I don't fuck them. I do what I'm doing. And I think that you brothers need to go out there and do what the fuck you doing. Save yourself. Do what you got to do for yourself. Stop worrying about what the white man think and what if the white men like you or not. Listen, man, people gonna like you if you produce, you know. And sometimes you can change people by just, you know, hey man, I thought black people were one way, and I'm seeing that y'all not like that. Okay, cool. You know, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, get out there, work hard, do what you got to do, and you know, build a network around people that you can fuck with and you can build with. And again, I want to thank Steve. I see ABL in the chat. I want to thank him for rocking with me. He's my YouTube family. I got a lot of love for him. I want to thank all the moderators. And you guys keep it pushing. Steve, go ahead. And anything else you want to say, Steve?
I just want to say, everybody, if y'all see my picture right now, you see, this is what I always end my show with, because I always want to inspire y'all to be great. And if you look right now, you see what I call the graveyard. And everybody there had one thing in common, and they thought they had tomorrow coming to them. Everybody that you see in these tombs right here. And what I'm saying to you young men and some of you women out there is that you don't know when you're going to die. So you live every day like it's your last, meaning that if you were to die tomorrow, not wishing anything bad on you, that you can say, at least I tried and tried to be the best man I could be. O'Shea, I want to ask you a quick question. Are we going to do anything in the morning time since I got my night show? Are we going to do a morning show?
Yeah, we'll do a morning show. We'll do a morning show. I'll tell you when we get a good one. We'll talk about that.
What are we talking about?
I think if I did have to put it on Patreon, but maybe what about we'll talk about it, but we'll have so guys, we're gonna probably have a show. Me and Steve have a show in the daytime, and I probably have another show I have a show. So this is what we're gonna do. We'll have I have an individual video, pre-recorded video uploaded. I have another roast comment section video like I did a few days ago on this channel. And then me and Steve will do a morning show. We'll do a morning show tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we just want to say thank you to the chat room and the moderators and everything for that, and also the chat room. You guys are motherfucking. Hey, look, we don't have to agree on everything, but you know what? What I love about y'all is that most of y'all work together, listen, and participated. That's all we ask. So we just want to
still ain't shit though.
Yeah. There was some shit talkers in there, but again, that's what. See, guys, y'all gotta understand something. Don't try to be everybody's fucking friend. Don't try that. Remember, if you don't have people hating what you do, you're not doing something right. So you be when someone calls you a coon or a sellout, be glad, man. That's the greatest compliment in the world, because for people who have made it, they will always say, if I thought like you, I'd probably be like you bagging groceries. So it's okay to think out of the box. It's okay to be called a coon. It's okay to be called a sellout, because guess what? You need to be selling to one thing and one thing only, yourself. Be selfish, conceited, and be that motherfucking man. That's all I want to say.
All right. Now, again, I want to shout out my man. I want to really shout out my man, Jamaican Pepper, for calling in, saying he was making only $1,500 Jamaican dollars, $1,200 Jamaican dollars a week. That's $15 a week, man. Probably even now less. So I want to shout him out for calling in and talking about that. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it, Steve.
All right, man. I got to get Madden game.
Well, we already know how that's going to end up, nigga. What was the score of your last game, dog? Tell everybody.
Look, hey, guys. Let me tell y'all something about me.
What's the score?
I'm a big cat. Hold on. Let me explain the score so I can tell him my story before I hit him with the score.
Okay.
Guys, I've always been a big kid. I love video games. I was so good at video games. I was on Madden Nation 3. If you look that up, I was on the Madden Nation 3 as a contestant on ESPN playing Madden. So I was good, O'Shea, mother. Fuck you.
Did you win that one?
I have run into some hard times right now where I am on a serious losing streak. And it seems like every time I'm losing, his motherfucking ass wants to call me. He didn't call me when I'm winning games and shit.
But you don't never be winning, so no reason to call you when you don't never win.
Well, that's fucked up, man. Damn. I'm just saying, guys. I got my ass beat. What was it, like 54-7 or something like that?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Come again?
54-7. 54-7. No. Look. I'm building my team. I'm in a franchise. I'm good. O'Shea, I'm good. I got it.
So, like, how many touchdowns did you give up in the first, 5 minutes?
Man, fuck you, O'Shea.
No. Hold on. Shout out to CB3. Collard green sandwiches on me and Steve. Shout out to my man CB3 from Houston. Before I left, right? I came back from Ukraine. This was so funny, man. I came back from Ukraine. It was hella early in the morning, but I think it was late at night for Steve. He's talking hella shit. And he's talking hella shit to this other nigga. He's talking about, I'm about to put the tip in. Fuck you, bitch. I mean, talking to this nigga like, log on, bitch. Log on right now, bitch. Yeah, I'm about to whoop this nigga's ass. Yeah, come on, bitch. Yeah. You motherfucker, you punk ass bitch. You about to be my hoe. 5 minutes later, all you heard was Steve. Fuck. What score, Steve? 24-0. The game just started.
I had some turnovers, man. I didn't wrap the ball up. Hey, look, I'm good though. I'm good.
Dog. That nigga was beating his motherfucking ass, dog. Steve talked all that shit. Yeah, you punk ass bitch. I'm about to put the tip in real quick on your motherfucking ass, nigga. All you heard was fuck.
That wasn't even that. Yeah, you didn't have to tell that.
Hey, and James, exactly. I told the nigga the same thing. I said, play on rookie mode. I said, look, go get the All Madden team and play against the Cleveland Browns. I said, better yet, go make yourself up as a player. Make yourself up as quarterback, your cousin up at running back, your son up at receiver, and just make them all 100 everything.
Uno buck champion of the world. Okay, I was asking some Uno videos.
And then listen, and then basically. And get like a 16-0 season and get your confidence back up. So like every play works. You know, like when you're on rookie mode, like you get your running back work for like 13 yards a carry, shit like that. You won't listen to me.
Anyway, look, I didn't draft Jay Cutler. So y'all cut me deep. Damn, you got the whole room on my ass on this shit.
Shout out to Keith Lamont, dog. It's okay, dog. It's cool, man. I ain't kind of discouraging. Like my man Aunt James say, play on rookie mode.
Rookie.
That nigga be getting his ass beat every time I call him. Fuck. No, but the one thing, the nigga was in another Madden league, right? The nigga was getting his ass beat so bad he dropped out of that Madden league.
Man, I ain't
Nigga quit the Madden league and jumped into another league and got his ass beat again in that league. No, now he in another league.
No, I'm in 3 leagues. I'm still in that league because I'm building my team. I got my salary cap down low, so I'll be able to make.
Well, you lose every game, so how can you get your salary cap? You got losers don't get no salary cap increase.
Dog, yeah, ain't no what, dog. Why you
need to be in the NFL neighborhood football league, nigga, playing at motherfucking Mama Marcus Park, motherfucker. You don't even need to be neighborhood football league throwing a Nerf football to yourself. You throw it and go catch it yourself, nigga. Just throw it up there and run and catch it, nigga. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up. Hey, like I say, man. Hey, yeah, I am the beta male of Madden, Keith. You're right. I'm the bitch. Yeah, I admit I'm the bitch. I'm gonna get my shit together. I'm not gonna give up, Jamaican. I don't have no give up. I'm gonna have fight, so I might cuss. I might get mad.
Listen, what I want Steve to do one night, dog, that's gonna be a brother peel. A brother peel we gonna do is we gonna take bets on Steve. What we gonna do is this. We gonna have Steve play live. We're gonna try to somehow stream it on the brother peel, and we're gonna watch him get his ass beat in front of, and I'm gonna be doing the commentating. Matter of fact, Steve, record a game of you getting your ass beat so I can do a reaction video to you getting your ass beat on that shit. I would love that.
I will. A matter of fact, I got one recorded. I can send you if you want.
Did you lose?
I think I lost.
Well, please send that to me, please.
I think I got on my Twitch channel. Let me see.
Yeah, send that to me. Send me the file.
Twitch. Yeah, I got. I'll send you the link to my thing. You can download that shit, motherfucker.
Okay. And this weekend, we can do. Okay, we're gonna do the Trio Nigga Island for the brother PL, right? Trio Nigga Island, and if we get enough moderators, we're gonna get the moderator roast off. So if you moderators, I want you motherfuckers to kill yourself in these roast comments. I'll give y'all $50 for the top moderator roaster. But I will also do the brother. So if you want to be in Trio Nigga Island on Trio Nigga Island, we'll bring the girls back over here. Trio Nigga Island on Sunday. You got to email me right now, planetoshay@gmail.com. Trio Nigga Island, all right? And if I get enough moderators want to get into the moderator roast war, I'll do another 50. All right? So again, I'm gonna set up Trio Nigga Island right now so you guys can like it. So we're gonna have that one. And so you know it's gonna be crazy. So Steve, go ahead and lose your game, dog.
Man, that's fucked up, dog. I'm gonna fight hard. I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah, dog. You gotta at least get a first down in this game. You ain't gotta win. Get a first down.
Losing because my ancestors were grabbed off a boat.
Yeah, it's slavery. It's the white supremacy.
White supremacy is the reason why I cannot hit these buttons fast enough, because when I was running from that cop who was eating those donuts and coffee, I hurt my fingers and shit. So the man is stopping me from beating and Madden, dog. How about those?
Well, you know. All right, dog. Go ahead and get to the ass whooping, dog. Peace, everybody.